Are we back?
We should be back.
We're back.
But yeah, in regards to the movie list, I think we'll make a list today and pick the movie, but then
You'll have 2 weeks
we'll
to
discuss it in
watch it.
2 weeks. You'll have 2 weeks to watch it, and then we'll discuss it because we don't
Yes.
have a stream next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Making the thread. Now.
Hello,
Oh, we're gone again.
we thread it.
Cool. Hello.
Mess, what a mess. Hello.
All right.
Hello. Put it on a wheel.
We shall see how long this lasts.
Hopefully longer than 5 minutes.
Hopefully.
We're halfway. We're only halfway through the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just now got to like the exciting cars.
Yeah.
We did.
We just now got to the fruit car and the sushi
fruit
car, the aquarium car.
The fruit car is basically, I'm pretty sure, where Jerry sees the polar bear for the first time, or whatever he saw out there. Because he gets distracted.
they see the airplane when they're crossing.
No, they see the
airplane.
airplane. They see the airplane during New Year's when they're crossing the bridge. But he gets
The
distracted.
fruit thing, he's just looking at the dirt and stuff.
He was looking
Yeah,
at the
he's
dirt,
looking
but
at
he
the
gets
dirt.
distracted by something, doesn't he?
In the fruit car? Not in the fruit
I
car.
swear he did.
No, not in the fruit car.
He gets distracted by something during the gunfight later.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's looking at the snow because it's the kind of snow that melts. But hang on now. I swear
Yes,
to God,
sir.
he walks away for a second from explaining something to his daughter. I mean,
No,
Alright,
she
time
walks
to-
away
time
because
to
she's just trying to
investigate.
like eat fruit or something.
okay.
Yeah, cause she's looking at stuff and he's like, "This is the soil is what I used
Hey,
to
I
walk
understood
on."
it. I just didn't see any of the subtitles.
No, Steven doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, don't listen to anything I say.
Seconds.
Yeah, he's just talking about he gives her the
Yep.
soil full of
He's
worms.
looking at it. He does. He gets distracted by something. He does.
He's just looking around though. He's not. It's nothing.
Yeah, like,
No.
what is he looking at, Jared?
He does.
That's
he does.
what, he's looking at a
stop.
fucking polar bear because he said he saw something at the end. He's literally talking to something and then he says, "What's that? What's that?"
That-
And he walks away and she goes off and looks at the aquarium stuff, but he's looking at something out the window in the fruit cart.
Do they show him looking out the window?
They don't
you
have
don't
like a
see
macro
it.
shot of him in the
Hold
window,
on,
but he's
hold on.
looking.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
take a
it's-
picture of. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
It's an
I'm gonna take a
hour and
picture of-
four. Go.
I'm literally. I'm
You're at the
watching
part?
it right
Are
now.
you seeing it?
I have
Are you seeing it?
Yeah, I'm gonna send.
He
I'm gonna
gets
send a
distracted
picture,
by something mid-conversation and says, "What's that?"
But I'll show. He's not looking out a window.
He
so-
is.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm gonna send the picture and then you tell me what this looks
you,
like.
you tell me what's happening. He could have been distracted by any number of things.
Come on.
Looking at fruit. Like
Why would he
someone
be looking at
interested
fruit?
in the story.
Why would he say what's this and look at some fucking fruit?
I don't know.
He's not looking at
Wait,
fruit.
does he? Hold on. Does he,
He
say?
says,
What does he
"What's
say?
this?"
Okay, look at the picture. Look at the picture.
Yeah, he's looking at a tree.
Like he's in the middle of the train. He's not
Yeah,
by
he's
the
not looking.
window.
He's not anywhere near the side of the train.
Based on the layout of the train, the wall where the window is much further away. But he's stopped and he's looking at the wall separating the two cars.
I would think if he's looking out the window, he's getting close to the window, like up close to make sure you can see the thing. Not like I'm gonna stand in the middle of the train and look out the window.
Now you could be right, Jared, but the movie has certainly not told us that.
Fine.
Has Jared even here to?
I am
Okay, he
here.
is.
I'm making the
I
souvenir.
I never know.
You're looking at Jerry.
Image.
Oh, I guess I could connect to Parsec.
No, you shouldn't. Because it'll probably get disconnected anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll just leave it
that's
off.
true.
I don't
Don't
need
even
to
bother.
You don't
Don't
need
even
to see
bother.
any of
All
this
right, I'm just
stuff.
gonna close Parsec. Don't bother.
Yeah. There we go. I'll maybe take the L on this one.
Oh, they show something at the end.
What are you talking about?
Mastiff.
Scan through the conversation with Curtis at
They
the
show-
end, and they show this shot again with a little more. Do they really? Wait, do they?
Oh, okay.
What is he looking at though?
A polar bear! He's looking at life outside.
Well, hold on.
I know you're saying that. I'm
Hold on,
asking
hold on.
Mastiff.
Hold on.
Someone who probably actually knows, and it's
Hold on,
just
let's-
screaming it at me.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the conversation. Let's see what they see. We're investigating. Go away, Wilford. I'm trying.
They
to
don't
get this
show what
thing
he's looking
before
at.
you.
See, and honestly, I think it would be weird.
It would
for him
cheapen
to
it if
see-
he.
It would cheat. Yeah, it would cheapen the whole her seeing the polar bear at the end, like life thing. If here, you already saw it earlier.
He mentions something when he's talking with subtitles that he says like, and even back then, like when we were back in the train, I saw. Never
Well,
mind,
okay,
you
so
wouldn't
the
believe
thing
me
that-
anyway.
Oh, is that what? Does that happen?
He says that in that
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
conversation.
Okay,
That could
let's
mean,
see.
like-
So he definitely talks about the airplane.
And you know
And
what I
then-
saw recently? He says. And then he looks away. He's gesturing outside the window. Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it.
Okay.
1
okay,
hour
take a
35. Okay, no. Just go to 1 hour
Yeah, like,
35
I'm
in
at-
like 10, 15 seconds.
I'm at 135 and 20. And you know what I saw recently? Okay.
Yep.
You know what I saw recently? And he says it in a Jerry voice.
Yep.
In Korean. Outside the window there was.
Did you see it cut to the scene of him in that same car?
It did.
It did. That's where he saw the polar bear.
Okay.
I'm not crazy.
Okay.
God
Yes,
damn it.
he saw something.
He
but
saw
he-
something, not necessarily a polar
Not
bear.
He saw
necessarily
life
a polar bear.
outside.
Out the window.
I don't know. He
Undoubtedly.
doesn't say that.
He doesn't
What do you
say
think
that.
he saw then?
He could
I
have
don't
saw
know.
snow melting.
I
He
don't
could
know.
have saw any number
No,
of things.
he
He just-
saw
he just
life
says
outside, which
outside-
is proof that
outside the
life is
window
not
there
extinct
was-
outside the train. That's why
I
that
don't-
polar bear
I
was
don't know.
significant at the end.
No,
I'm
he
very
says
adamant
he's-
about this, and the more adamant you get, the more I think that you're wrong.
I feel like it's my duty to disagree with you now. So he says,
I definitely, I'm on board that he saw something, but just saying, like, without a doubt that he saw a polar bear, that doesn't make any sense.
okay. So his response to first of all, he doesn't say what he saw. He just says, "No need to tell you this." So it couldn't have been that cool because there was no need to tell him.
You better believe I'm telling everyone if I saw.
If I saw a fucking polar bear, I'd be like, dude, I saw a fucking polar bear outside. What more do you need to know?
Oh man,
yeah,
but not so 100% of a
Jared.
polar bear.
I'm
Jared, now you need a picture
convinced
of-
me on the looking out the window at something.
Jared,
Get
now
the
you-
bear part of
get a
it.
picture of the second
Not so
time
much.
he's looking out the window because now
Now this
he's
looks
proven
like
your
he's
point.
looking out the window for sure.
Okay.
I
Now, this
can't.
is-
Not on Tubi. He actually is looking out the window in this cutaway for sure.
I'll
I'll see that he looks like he's staring at a fucking wall in this one, but
Yes.
in the actual cutaway, he like turns towards the window. There is like a close-up shot of him looking out the window.
Yes,
in
here
this.
I'll send that to you because this is at least somewhat damning, or at least makes the point that you're making. Now I zoomed in really close on his pupil and I do see the reflection of a polar bear in his eye.
What? No, you don't.
No, I don't.
Where was the? What resolution of this
You want to know
movie
why
are
I
you-
don't see that? Because there's not a damn polar bear outside the window.
It would be weird if he saw a polar bear and then another one showed up like thousands of miles away.
It would
'cause
be
this train's moving pretty damn fast.
thematic.
No, it wouldn't.
If he saw
It would
some
just-
sort of life out there, because that's another piece of evidence that he collected. So, like, hey, we could maybe survive out here if we leave.
Okay, this
But it
still looks
wasn't a-
like he could just be looking at a tree.
It could be anything.
It could be looking.
You're
Well,
not.
there's
You're
also-
not.
so
No.
all-
No. Oh, dude,
so all-
that's a terrible.
This is-
Dude, no.
That's
what I'm looking at.
That's the frame.
Look, all right,
That's
let me-
what it
You
shows
told
in
him
the
to
movie.
pick.
This
That's
is
the frame of the movie.
what I am looking at right now is
him.
him. I'm looking at his profile right now. He is like sideways, looking at the window,
Okay.
and I can't
second-
grab it.
A second later, he turns his head a little bit more. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna get it.
So he looks
I'm gonna
at a
try to get
separate
it.
Tree inside
I'm gonna
the
try to
same
get it at the last frame before the film cuts. All right, this is like as close as I can get without like downloading and scrubbing through the frames.
Oh my god.
And I'm just gonna point this out. The face that he's making is not the face of a man that sees a polar bear.
I can't grab this. Oh.
No, you can't. Here,
Take a picture with your phone.
I have. Look, I sent it. Here you go. We're
Caveman.
literally giving like a frame by frame.
All right, he's
of the
looking at
movie.
another branch on the tree.
Yeah, he just sees a bigger fruit. Like
Yeah, he's like,
saw-
oh, there's another piece of fruit. That
First he
I like.
saw a good one. He's like, that's my favorite one. And then another one caught like the corner of his eye. He's like, no, that's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I'm caveman in this shit.
I just
Caveman-
feel like he's still just too far away from the window to actually see anything of real relevance.
He's so far away. He's so far away from the window. Like, look at
So
the
far away,
picture.
and you imagine you can't like a polar bear is white and the whole world is white. How the hell is he seeing that without like super eagle eye vision?
Jared just got it like a second later when he just turns his head a little bit more.
He could like literally.
Look at how far away he is.
he's
Like,
so far away.
there's no.
Window.
Was the polar bear on the window?
There's a polar bear sticker maybe, and he saw that.
Oh.
He
Listen, he's definitely looking at something. I'll see that.
Yes, he's looking at something important that gives him proof
He's
that they
looking
can
at-
survive
he's-
outside.
But the fact that he doesn't ever say anything specific, he could have been even
whatever,
just
like,
commenting about the trees in there.
If it,
like, you
if the
don't
thing,
know.
hold on, if the thing that he saw was meant to convince them to get off the train, why does he say no need to tell you what I saw?
Because
Yeah,
he
that's
knows that
my-
this dude doesn't. He's not gonna convince him with it.
Oh, well, but he's still trying to. But he is still trying to
Yeah,
convince.
doesn't
them.
he say? Does he talk about the other stuff though that he saw?
That was the last thing, I think. That was the last thing that he
This
said.
this is the end of the. This is basically the end of the conversation. Is him like, no need to tell you this.
But now that
which
he
is-
knows Curtis's backstory and he's just hell bent on killing Wilford, like, he knows that he's not gonna be on board to leave the train.
I mean,
Well, this
that
is
makes
when he
sense,
tells
but-
him this is when he tells him the plan though. He's like, this is like the chronal. He shows him the bomb after he tells him like what he saw.
Yeah.
And
How
are
did we
skipping
get
ahead.
here? Oh, we were just in the. we were just in the.
Well, we were at the
We
garden.
were in the
and now...
we were in the garden, and
Oh
Jared
my
starts
God.
screaming about polar bears, and we're like,
God.
"Oh, calm down, Jared.
Oh.
It's just a train full of trees. That's it, man."
But there's the polar bear. Actually, you know what, Jared? Can you
Polar
please,
bear.
Jared, rather than the image of Jerry trying to look out a window, can you? Hillary Clinton was on the train, and I will stand by that. That is Hillary Clinton on the train.
It's not actually Hillary Clinton.
I will
Clinton,
fight you
but it
on
looks-
this. That
it
is
looks like her.
that is Hillary Clinton on the train.
Fight me.
But Jared, you know the picture should actually just be a polar bear now, like not Jerry looking for one. Just
Oh,
get
yeah,
the
yeah.
actual, but don't even get like the polar bear from the movie.
yeah, just
go on
a
Google.
stock-
go
just
on
Google polar
image
bear.
it.
A polar bear.
I
Just
got you.
Google polar
Oh,
bear.
I got
Thank
you.
That way, that's the only way to truly make your point. That's the one that Jerry saw.
The imaginary one that wasn't in the movie, you mean?
I don't remember there ever being a polar bear in this movie or a mention of one.
Yeah.
And if you say otherwise, you were watching a different movie, or you were at the Detroit Zoo.
Oh, not this. No, no,
One of the
no.
Coca-Cola bears, definitely.
How the fuck is Pomo here into the Discord right now?
I have no idea. It's always
The-
laying in wait.
Alrighty, we got it. We got
I'm also
polar
gonna
bear.
just delete Robinsons from the list.
Okay, so we get
There
to the
he
garden,
is.
and
No, don't leave.
then it
I'll just
immediately
leave then.
it immediately transitions into the aquarium train, which is wildly impractical, but I don't care because it looks fucking cool and it's all great.
It looks.
It
It,
is-
looks. Cool.
it's-
Yeah, me
it
and you were
looks
kind
cool.
of talking about it a little bit while you were offline.
Yeah.
The logistics of it are
It's
just
Actually
baffling.
impossible.
My
Yeah.
whole thing is, all right, how do they get the fish out?
That's
Yeah,
true.
because it's like they
Because
have to
normally
go
in an aquarium like
outside.
this, you
You
have
go
to
from
go
the
from
top.
the top.
Yeah.
But the top is assumingly outside. So how the hell you getting fish out?
Maybe there's
Maybe they
another level up there.
They just
Maybe there's just
They
like
just
a
make the
like a
sound.
slight
Just make
gap
the,
between the ceiling and the tank, but
so
They
the
gotta
sushi
keep the
chef
water-
is making
just-
the sound.
not to mention the fact of like how heavy this fucking train car would be.
Yeah. And also that
Insane.
they have a sushi chef on staff for 2 days out of the year.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's really good.
He's really good. Yeah.
Like,
But-
how much practice do you really have?
I did, as impractical as all of this is, I really enjoyed the scene of them eating the sushi and then basically establishing what the plot of the entire movie is at that sushi bar.
Yeah.
I think that
Super
I thought
cool.
that was an excellent bit of foreshadowing. That
The ecosystem
it's
of things.
great. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, but it was a good way to bring about the story.
Yeah. A great way to sort of like introduce it and kind of like not necessarily give away the whole bag, but like have it on the viewer's mind so that the actual ending doesn't come out of fucking nowhere for a lot of people.
Yeah, like
you know?
get you starting to already agree with the premise
Yeah.
that like balance is not just like an evil thing. Like there is utility to balance.
Yeah,
So that
like,
when
we
you start
do
to
this
get
with
introduced,
animals
like,
and I mean,
yeah.
what do you think happens on
People
this
are basically
train, dude?
animals.
Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we can talk about my problems with some of those things at the end of this.
I have problems with it too. So,
All right,
we'll get
but
to
now,
I'll have
now we're,
solutions.
but so aquarium, meat car. We get the meat car.
Meat car.
I forgot about meat
Where's
cars. Did
the
anything
meat
happen
coming
in the
from?
meat car?
That's a very good question.
as well.
Where is the meat coming from?
Because
Because
they
there's no.
explain where the water comes from.
Yes.
And like obviously like cockroaches and all these like other things like and fruits. It's like all things that can grow and like self-sustain.
But there's no like livestock
There's a
car
finite
where they're
amount of
raising them.
meat that you
Like and it's only dead
It's
meat. There's
big.
no living animals
Yeah.
that they
It's
cross
big
by on the way to
meat,
the engine.
like beef. They have beef.
Oh,
That's-
full cows.
That's one of the issues when one of your strengths I feel like is world building is that like you key in your viewers to pay attention to everything. So if
Yeah,
you
now-
don't
now I'm
deliver
looking.
on that promise of like having everything work as a cohesive whole, sometimes you'll like see those little cracks. I don't think it's damning of the movie, but I feel like we wouldn't have like questioned that this much if like we weren't already like so immersed in the world that it's already building itself, you know?
Yeah, it's just like I imagine that they would have eaten through their meat stocks in like a matter of days.
Yes.
But aside from that, cool.
Does anything happen in the meat room? They just walk through it?
They like
I don't.
they talk.
They
about
talk about stuff.
Okay, and then they immediately do they
Nothing's-
get to the classroom after this?
This, yeah.
think
That's.
this is where
I
that's
don't
the
know.
next-
I don't know
What
why.
a weird layout for a train. Like why
Super
do
weird.
children here
Next to the
of
meat?
all places?
Basically,
I
we
mean,
get
where
to,
else are you
like,
gonna put them? In the salon
Exposition
car?
classroom.
Yeah, right.
I don't know
come
how
back.
this classroom works because it seems like all of the kids are learning
Name it.
stuff that they already knew. It could be like a bit of like a brainwashing thing. Maybe this is where the whole cultist stuff
It's
starts.
definitely a brainwashing place.
Yeah, because like it's like, how many lessons can you really teach these kids before you start just repeating the same things over and over? Probably not that many.
I'm trying to remember. Do the kids ever do the little hand twisty thing?
They do like a dab. I don't know.
Oh,
what they do.
that's
Do a
actually.
dab.
That's
They
actually
definitely do a dab, but do they do the hand twist? I feel like I might remember them doing it, but I can't.
that's
I
a
don't
good question because there's a lot of gesturing that happens.
There's a
during
lot of
There is,
gesturing
there
and a
is.
lot of just like mantra speak.
Yeah. So I
Mm.
don't know for sure actually if they do that.
Talk
And if
movie
they
stuff.
do, I'll probably be a little upset about it.
I weirdly got like, I don't know why this popped into my head throughout this entire classroom scene, but I got vibes of like The Good Place, especially with the
Oh my
teacher.
goodness.
She looked a lot like what's her face from The Good Place.
Uh-oh.
Whatever. her-
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell. I was like, that's not Kristen Bell. This really
not
feels
Kristen
like
Bell,
this really
right?
feels like The Good
Be
Place though.
Further from Kristen Bell.
And this also didn't have Sam Malone in it, so Ted Danson.
Yeah, like
We'll all
interesting. Like,
freeze and die.
yeah, like
Wow,
we'll all
freeze
freeze
and
and die,
die.
and like looking out the window. I like the backstory of the seven. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was cool.
Interesting.
Like 7 people trying to escape.
Uh-huh.
How the hell are they
Now,
still visible over there?
Since I didn't have any subtitles, was I forget his name, but the green guy was
Yep,
he related
Jerry.
to one of the guys in there, Jerry?
No, Jerry, like he.
He would-
There
have-
was.
It
you
was
know, one of
maybe
them-
you
there
could
was a
argue that it
lady.
was implied, but he knew a lot about one specific person, one specific woman who went out there. She's like she
the
was
leader,
Inuit.
the leader
Inuit
of them
and
at the
stuff.
front was a. Was
Yeah,
a woman,
I
was
just
an Inuit
assumed
woman.
he had some sort of relationship with someone.
You-
He
you would
seemed
be
to know a
correct.
lot about them. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what he said.
Well,
He basically
bad.
said like the person at the front is a woman.
Yep.
It's an Inuit woman.
Yep.
And she was a maid in the first car or the
Yes.
first class car or whatever.
Yep.
And she helped him out a lot when he was growing up and stuff. So like he had a
okay.
personal relationship with
Gotcha.
her.
She was hot. She's so hot.
Not
You can
anymore.
assume that she like imparted some of this idea of like warmth and survival into him, and it's like kind of why he's willing to do that stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like
See, Steven, wouldn't subtitles have helped?
I mean, in some of these parts, but I feel like that.
I'm glad that you.
That's
I'm glad that you were
information
still
that
able to
doesn't
get.
super
No, it
matter.
doesn't.
I got
really matter.
I got the majority of the important stuff. Rockin' Dumpy.
I mean, it was so firm and taut that
Ooh,
despite
yeah.
years of being weathered in this frigid ice age, it was still visible miles away from the train.
Yeah, and back to like the whole like classroom thing. Like I like the backstory of like Wilford and like kind of
Wilford, how
the
he
train
grew up
came
wanting
and
to have a
stuff, like,
train.
it was good to get some more
I liked it.
information.
It was very Fallouty, actually.
yeah.
And it was probably intentionally. I don't
And to a degree, I think so.
know.
Man,
Sure
they
does.
do a lot of dabbing
Oh.
in this scene.
Oh, never mind.
You were
Stream
cutting out
is
there a little bit there too,
freezing.
Steven.
They do a lot of dabbing.
They do a lot.
Oh, maybe it's just me.
Yeah, Steven, now you're the one cutting out.
Yeah, and then they see the 7.
No.
Yada, yada. Oh yeah,
The
and then
7,
pretty
and
much
then
immediately after this, the
eggs.
eggs start getting delivered.
Eggs.
I loved
And
this
yeah,
reveal,
the
honestly.
new eggs.
The eggs, dude. What the fuck?
This was a very, very, very
Yeah.
cool reveal. Where
Yeah.
like they get to the back of the car, it's like I thought chickens were extinct. It's like there's a lot of things that were thought to be extinct on this train. Like what? It's like, and then just
Yep.
immediately prego teacher lady just goes,
Bullets.
I'm like, oh shit! Because you've gone like what, more than halfway through this movie, not seeing a single shot fired, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose.
Yep.
Good shit, man. Good reveal. I
Oh,
liked that.
I thought that whole sequence was super cool.
Yeah.
I actually loved when Gray took that bitch out.
Oh,
Yes. Just throwing knife right to the fucking neck.
yep.
Holy shit! It was
Awesome.
amazing.
And then
What's Mastiff saying when it realized it wasn't Hank? Who's Hank?
Oh, the Hank from Barry. No,
oh
Hank.
no! Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Anthony Kerrigan
Oh.
comes bringing in the eggs. I forgot to mention
Yes.
that. I was like, is that Anthony
Yeah.
Kerrigan?
Yeah.
Now every person with alopecia or whatever that's called, like,
Yep.
now I just assume they're all NoHo Hank.
Basically.
And there's our Barry Quarter reference for the stream.
It was, yeah. So mark that off your bingo card, Pomo.
We have after this, we have like they're going through a couple of cars, and then we start seeing that like Alec Baldwin looking henchman going around the train.
Yeah. Now it's his time to shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is another neat instance of like this could only happen on a train. It's a little goofy, but he's shooting to the other side of the train because they're going around a
loop.
hairpin turn. Yeah, that
they're
loop.
big, like loop.
It's a
Yeah,
neat
That
little
was
set piece.
pretty wild.
It's kind of crazy and goofy, but it's fun. I liked
yeah,
it.
it matches the absurdity
Yeah.
of the rest
And
of
it
the
leans
movie.
into the setting, which I like. So
Yeah.
it's happening on a train. This thing can happen on a train. Cool. Neat.
I enjoyed that quite a bit. But I also thought like they kept shooting through like this glass. Just get out of the car. Like that guy. Stop standing in the car with all this
Yeah.
open glass. Like
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
They,
But he just- they
like
stayed there.
the car with the most windows ever. It's
Yeah,
made
like
of
just
glass.
he had
did-
to wait for them to get there. Just get out of the damn car.
It did give me like mild Smoking Aces vibes in terms of like when those cops were just like randomly shooting at another building.
Just they don't even know. Like
yeah.
where is it? Where's the bullets coming from? Ryan
I did
Reynolds.
like at the end where they both
they shoot at each other. Yeah.
they both just shoot
And this
That
like
was
right
bright
next to each other's
headshot.
faces,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, it's bulletproof. We can only shoot our own windows and not through the other person's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
like you did. Like they didn't
Or at least
realize
not
that until they like took time and aimed.
Yeah. It's good shit. Good shit.
Yeah. Well, all right, this is pointless. Carry on.
Yes, let's carry on. We get to the sauna scene, which is neat.
Oh, hold on.
What's
But
up?
the
Master
Sorry.
thing like the.
Steven, your internet is shit right now.
I think like it
You're
did
true.
show like a guy like put it. Well, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
he was trying to like plug up the holes and stuff, but it's true that
Can't
like I
help
also
that.
had that
Oh
thought
my
of
god,
just
my ping it.
yeah, your ping is huge.
3,000.
I also had
It's-
that thought of just like,
It's
man,
probably getting up with some putty.
yes.
Oh God.
But I also had that thought of just like, man, like these people, like they should get out of this car if it's like that cold out there.
Right?
And that wasn't the case. And this was also a little moment where like Jerry sees a little piece of snowfall. He's
A
like,
little
this is the kind of
snowflake.
snow that melts, or something like that is how he justified it.
Amazing how he would know that. Like I
Yes.
wouldn't like. How do you know that? But I also, when I saw that snowflake, that's when I had my other Dr. Seuss moment, thinking that was like the Grinch snowflake.
Genius.
Snow genius. Snow genius.
They were on a snowflake the whole time.
That's what I was waiting for, and because a snowflake is a closed ecosystem, perfect balance.
Oh. See, that's why everyone was a who.
There we go.
I knew it.
And then we get to the sauna scene where people are like hiding out in these little sauna things. This is where you really get a sense of like Alec Baldwin doesn't really care about who he kills. He's like just the manic henchman guy.
Like, you can't shoot first car
And then he
passengers
just
or like front
shoots
car
his dude
passengers.
or whatever.
I didn't see
nothing.
anything.
Oh, this is where Tanya unexpectedly dies, like very quickly. And I kind
Oh
of
yeah, just
yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
dead.
I like that though. I love that not every important character has this big dramatic death. Although she had her little
like,
moment at the end.
sometimes people just. I mean, Andrew dies just like you. He's shot. He's dead.
Yeah.
And then Tanya just you got shot. You're dead.
Oh wait, we also
That's
skipped
how-
over the
that's what
fact that right after this whole
Mason-
like gunfire scene, Gilliam just gets executed.
Gilliam's executed,
Yep.
so Curtis kills Mason. So
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
basically, like everyone is just
On
dead
a
now.
monitor screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's all that. We have this whole fight scene. We get Gray's death scene here, which is rough.
No, Gray, save Gray.
Yeah. So we get that.
And then
What else?
we go through all the rich cars after.
Yes. Well, we get our little tiny moment. I didn't really understand. Like this club scene was fine. But we'll get to the clubbers after, like near the end. We have Jerry and his daughter like collecting all of the Chronos they can.
Yeah.
Let me
They
keep
go
an
through
eye out
one
for
of my
some
favorite
nipple.
cars. They go through one of my favorite cars, which is where like the IT people are in
Oh
there.
yeah.
And I'm just curious like what it is they're operating.
Behind their cages.
But it reminded me of like the scene in Silicon Valley
Yes.
when like
So this is where your desk is going to be. They promised
Jack-
24-hour service, on-site support.
yes, the mole people.
Okay.
Here's another place where we can put your box.
I mean, you know, once
That's
you've
all
seen
I
one
was
server
thinking
rack,
of.
you've kind of seen them all. That's what I thought.
And I
Until I
saw
saw
them
them
all.
all.
And
So we go through all of those. Jerry and his daughter are collecting a bunch of Chronos and also like some wool jackets that people are wearing. Obviously, everyone's
Yep.
getting pissed about that. And then they
Hey,
get
man.
to the door right before the engine room. And this is basically where we have our big sort of confrontation. We get all of the down low on Curtis's character, why he's doing what he's doing, why he acts a certain way, and similarly with Jerry. I thought this was a very effective like piece of character. This explains a lot essentially.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and it felt like
Definitely.
natural conversation coming up. It
Yes.
didn't feel like too forced, but I like Curtis's
Very
backstory. I think it's
natural.
pretty.
Very
I think it's
natural
pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's good shit. They don't
It
really.
wasn't too. It could have been like
it's
a
all,
little bit.
it's all easy to understand, and you know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight to the point, but it does it in like a really charactery way without being too like over the top. And the stuff that they do say that's dramatic is like validly dramatic. Like I don't question that that's like fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, man, like I get it.
It gives his character some
Yeah,
some
for
depth
sure.
in terms of like he's not this perfect dude who's just leading this charge of rebels because he's the only one who can, blah blah blah, chosen ones, whatever. Like this dude like tried to eat a baby when he was 17 and he killed the mom for it. Like that's
He tried to eat Edgar.
yeah. So like it
Don't eat
I-
Edgar.
it's,
I quite liked that connection. It's,
shit.
like, oh,
Yeah.
and then he just like felt compelled to like be
Yeah.
Edgar's like to take care of Edgar forever.
and then you think
then it
back to his
reminded
death
me-
scene, you're just like
Cool. Super dark, but really.
I know. Well, and then even there's a small conversation they have at the very beginning of the movie talking about Edgar's mom.
yeah, do you remember your
And
mom
I
at
remember
all?
when they were. I remember when they had that at the beginning, like this, like, is this just meaningless conversation? It
that's-
didn't really do anything. But now it like, I was like, oh, that now it resonates.
That's
a
what I'm
little
saying,
bit.
is
Like,
that this
I get
movie
it.
has so many good moments of foreshadowing that shit
know.
like this just sticks out, and I don't like it.
I get it. I get it. I'm with you.
So-
Like, there was no reason for that.
That whatever. So we have that. We start.
Babies taste best.
Jerry starts. Babies taste best. This is a well-known fact.
That's good to know.
Jerry starts talking about what his plan is for getting out of here. He's talking about melting. He talks about seeing a polar bear in the garden, and then he's
He
talking
didn't
about.
see a polar
He
bear.
never says anything about a polar bear.
Who knows what he
Incorrect.
saw?
And then he's
But it
basically
wasn't
talking.
worth saying.
Yeah, basically he's talking about built like puttying up all the Chronos and putting it on the gate, blowing it up, getting the fuck out of there. That's his plan. Right before he's able to do that, like unfortunately, he gave his only source of fire to the one man who wouldn't want that to happen at the time.
Yeah.
So he's arguing for the match, and then he just gets shot out of nowhere by Claude, and I was like, oh shit.
Damn it, Claude.
Okay. And then we get to
Well,
our.
I was upset that where was the Korean girl at this point?
She was
I keep
passed
forgetting
out.
her name.
She passed
She was
out.
passed
She
out,
was
okay.
like,
but
Yeah, she was,
also like
drunk
why?
or something. She
I
was
just
on the ground.
it seems difficult for me to be on board with this idea that Claude really got the upper hand on them. Like
Yeah.
the door opens inward to them, so like they have the advantage of being the ones entering a room, and she had to come around
Yeah.
a metal door, and they just weren't paying attention. It made me
They were-
mad. I'm like, stop letting them.
They were still scuffling.
Like they were still a little bit in the fight, but they stopped.
The door was opening.
when the
They were,
door
like,
started
on one
opening, and
side.
they just stood there like
They
completely
did, but they're
like
still to one side of
dumbasses.
the train because they're like, oh shit, the opening. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they were
She's
acting
kinda
like
turned
Curtis was acting scared, which I was mad about. Like, dude, you've been like, go over there and be like standing in front of the door. Like he was
That's the
like
whole point.
scared that the door was opening. Like, go over there, go and get in there.
so yeah.
Because like Gilliam even told him like, don't
let him
when
talk,
you get to
cut
that
out his
gate,
tongue.
don't let, like when the
Don't
when
let
the
him
door
speak, just
opens.
cut out his tongue.
Yeah.
When the door opens, kill him basically, and like instead he just like stood back away from the door and quietly let it open, and then Claude was able to come all the way out, like not just like peek around, like come all the way out and shoot Jerry.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But then we get into the scene.
Well, I'm
What's up?
all thinking like I think that the whole reason Gilliam said that to Curtis, like, oh, make sure
He
you
didn't want him to know.
It's because he knows that if Curtis the truth, he wouldn't want to lead. The only way that Curtis would is if he thought he killed like
Exactly.
revolutionaries.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he said shit like that.
Which makes Wilfred seem like an idiot for not understanding that. Like Wilfred thinks that he can actually talk him into this if he like
I think
like,
he
there's
almost
no
did.
way you're
though.
talking anyone into taking over for this.
no.
shit.
I feel like he
No.
almost did
think so.
until
I-
Curtis actually
he-
saw like the kids.
But he was always gonna see that
He was.
eventually.
He
Like,
was.
He was
had
just-
the-
I think like did by all of the shit. Like there's a lot of shit to unload on a person
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I don't think he was considering it. He's just like at a loss.
Maybe. I thought he was close when his daughter came to like give me the matches, whatever, and he like pushed her away. I'm just like, okay. And then
like,
immediately
it
after that,
definitely,
she
like-
gets her clairvoyance moment. It's like, child, there's a child under here. And then that's where
Now
he's
do
just
you
like,
still
oh,
want the
fuck
train?
you. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, never
I
mind.
mean,
that.
the movie.
But I thought he was
the
like
movie
maybe
definitely
like,
implies that
Yeah.
he was considering like maybe you're right
mm,
because he wants to be the hero and he doesn't know what a hero. He doesn't actually know what being a hero is. It's always been kind of obvious up until this point. So like now being confronted with it, like, oh, that actually does make sense. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. What do I do here? But then it became a lot easier when there was like a present
How do I
danger that he could be. Oh, the hero saves the little kids. Now I know what to do again.
there's I also had a little moment when he's we're in the engine room with Wilfred now, and he's talking about stuff, and I remembered I swear I heard it earlier in some random line where it says like Wilfred loves kids or something like that.
Oh, they said it multiple times.
Something like
Mason
that.
was
He
saying
did
it.
say that.
So
I'm
I thought
is
for
he doing
sure-
something weird with these kids.
I thought that, but then like as he's like cooking dinner and stuff, I'm like, I don't
See,
I
the
don't
sort of
see
people
Timmy.
who like that sort of thing. That's the sort of thing they like.
I'm like, I don't see Timmy. I don't see this other kid, but I do see him cooking
Yeah.
a steak right now. Is this like how? Is this like the circle of life? That's how people get meat. That's how he eats. Like, I mean, that makes
It's
sense.
good.
That's fucked up. That makes sense.
Kids taste better.
But no, there's no explanation of where that steak comes from. Which, all right, fine.
They had
It's
like
just-
all we know is that they have a meat
they had a
cart,
large-
Yeah.
but where is the meat coming
So,
from?
so I
Where are
thought
the
that
cows?
was going to be the reveal, and like Curtis was going to take a bite of that and realize it's Timmy or some shit.
Oh my, that would have been really fucked up.
None of that happens. But he does dump a
I
bunch
actually,
of. What's up?
I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked that better.
I feel like I
because
would
one
have
of-
too.
Because
we're
there are
gonna
some
break
issues
down.
that I have. Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah. So they're talking. He pretty much breaks down the entire plot of what has been going on. All of these revolutions that have happened on the train have been
Yeah.
orchestrated to cull the population to make sure that everyone on the train can survive, sort of thing. So
Right.
that's why that's there. And Curtis can't really process the fact that he was essentially used for this like tool. essentially.
Gilliam's his best friend. He was in on it the whole time.
Yep. I don't understand how Gilliam could have private phone calls with Wilford in the cramped ass train, but
Yeah, like when was he on the phone and no one noticed? I don't know.
Yeah, they're little like late night phone calls.
And for I'm sorry, for hours. So for hours,
Yeah.
this guy with only like one
I mean-
arm was disappearing and on the phone, and no one knew what was going on.
oh Jesus, I just realized I'm
Yeah.
missing a bunch of chat
I mean,
messages
it's
because my cabbages broke again.
Oh, it's possible that like maybe Wilford was lying about some of that stuff just to make it seem like
It was a
it is
teeny
possible.
tiny
That
actually
little
was-
itty bitty nitpick that I had. It wasn't very that important to
It
me.
could
Yeah, 'cause, like,
it could totally be a lie.
maybe he was just bullshitting the whole thing, and Guilford was actually like a cool guy, and he wasn't in on it. Like we don't know for sure, obviously, 'cause he's dead.
Sure.
That's true. He could easily be making all this stuff up.
Yeah. So, anyways, as they're having this conversation, for some reason, the entire club cart behind them is
They've
arms
decided
to
to
the teeth,
rally.
rallied and
Yeah.
arms to the teeth to avenge
Like,
like
their
their couple
Chronos
handfuls
stolen.
of Chronos that were taken from
Yeah.
them. They decided it's like it's riot time, and this was
Give
both.
us back our chrono.
This was one of those moments where I'm just like, what the
I want
fuck is going on right now? This is silly. Like
It was a bit odd. I didn't
I
know that there
wasn't a
was
fan
enough
of that whole action
I wasn't.
sequence.
It didn't seem like there
They're
was enough
addicts.
motivation for them to all.
if they're
like,
addicts, then why are they
rally
so
together.
organized? Like,
Well, I thought because they were
that-
addicts,
that-
they were
that
supposed to
seemed
be
a little
high
weird.
out of their mind and unable to do anything.
yeah.
Yeah, like, hey man, give you my chrono back.
I
Like,
thought
yeah,
that was
like,
the
how did they
extent
go-
of it.
how
It's
did
like,
they go-
Alright, let's
oh
organize
no,
with a bunch of
stop.
weapons.
And then actually
If
they
they
all
were
like
willing
got a
to-
bunch of their equipment and like axes and shit, and they're ready to like lay waste to these like two people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how I felt about that. Like, I don't know if I'm trying to decide if it was even necessary to like have them. Like, couldn't it have just been like all down to like the one guy? Like since they resurrected the security dude anyways, like have him just be the final threat, creating the urgency.
Unkillable.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the horde back there was really doing anything anyways. So
No.
like, did we really need to have them show up? It could have just been the security guy, and they have their like battle, like near death, like Jerry might die here, like you
Yeah.
gotta like do something now, kind of thing, and that would have been enough for me, I think.
I think so too. I was kind of taken out of it a little bit when I just saw like the mob of
I-
club goers like coming out.
It was
It's
a
like
bit weird.
I understand that they
Didn't
technically
fit.
have a motivation, but like I don't think that's enough to justify what's happening here.
But their motivation was that their stuff got taken, and that happened like 20 minutes ago. So how
It
did they go
did.
from being like medium on it to overcharged now? That just didn't make sense.
Yeah. So that's happening, I guess.
It is happening, whether we like it or not.
because it's
happening.
overpopulated and whatnot.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and
but I just make it. It's weird that
So
they
pe-
go
so
through
people
there
are
and they got
easier to
organized.
anger.
after.
Yeah, it's not well.
And like the fact that a group could get together and be angry and then like lose their minds over something, I'm not against. It's
Mhm.
just you can't have them go through the club and everyone just be like, "Hey, man," and then like 5 minutes later they're like, "Get him!" Like what changed between like 10 minutes ago
Yeah.
and now?
So we get some more moments with Curtis and Wilford in the engine. That like when they're actually like standing in the engine, he's like, "You've never been alone for a long time, haven't you?" It's like, just take your time. I love how just like manipulative this fucker is. Like it's very insidious.
And then he goes and he hides on the corner,
Yeah.
like so that because like he's not alone. It's a small train car.
Yeah, but he'll feel alone. Obviously, if he's still staying there, he's not alone.
But I just thought it was cute that like Ed Harris went and just like crouched down over in the corner for him. Also, how did y'all feel about Ed Harris as being this character? I didn't like him.
I have no connection to Ed Harris. I thought he was perfectly fine in this role.
You have seen National Treasure: Book of Secrets.
I barely remember that he was that guy. I just now remembered, so I still have no connection to Ed Harris.
Ed Harris is such a like serious character, like a person. Like everything about him is really hard-edged and like very life dramatic. Like this is like a hard-edged person you could meet.
Sure.
Like it's hard for me to see, and the way that everything else sort of like got a lot looser in the characters, and they like especially with how dramatic it was of people changing as you went through the cars. This guy he seemed too normal to be Wilford, in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have went more Willy Wonka with him.
Yeah, I expected a more eccentric person, but it was just like this is like an old rich guy. Like he's not the crazy dude that's running this train. I guess it would be hard to like ever do that exactly right, but I think you're right, Stephen. Like he should have been a more Willy Wonka-y person, like completely irrational but somehow rational.
A little more eccentric.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I think
they should have gotten Mr. Megorium.
Dustin Hoffman, Mr. Megorium's Wonder.
He's perfect.
He probably done it.
It would have been better than Ed Harris at least. It wasn't a deal breaker.
Ed Harris is just a big name that they can count on.
I know. Yeah, like he's a good actor. I just thought it wasn't the guy I was expecting at the end. So I was like, oh, okay, just old rich guy.
I didn't personally mind all that much. Didn't bother me. I don't know what I was expecting.
Coming in hot
honestly.
with the Willy Wonka take.
Okay. But yeah, so there's that whole thing, and I feel like this was one of the there's not a lot of movies that would pull the you should join me and blah 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 thing and make it convincing. I was mildly convinced. I'm just like, is this movie gonna end on a dour note of just like Curtis like, I have no one else, like this, like, I'm the only one left, so I guess
Wilford now.
They were selling it for quite a while, so I'm just like, maybe,
because he could even come at it from that character could have also been like, I'll take over the train, but I'm gonna do it my way. Like it could have easily been like, yeah, I'll do this evil thing, but I'm gonna do it my way and make it feel like a good thing. Like he had options.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a state of fact that he was gonna be like, I'll never join you.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that, and then we're getting around to the point where they actually open up the like. Jerry's fighting a bunch of people, and he's having his daughter open up the Wilford gate. And
yeah, like get that gate open. I need the fire.
Yep.
They finally open up the gate. Daughter runs in for the fire, and this is where like Chris Evans like pushes her away. I'm just like, oh shit, like that's pretty. He's getting close.
He's the movie is telling us that he's thinking about it.
Yeah, and then the daughter has her moment of clairvoyance that is only important for this specific moment of the movie to start digging at some random tile in the floor to reveal little Timmy doing his little shit in the engine thing.
This is what I do. I know my place.
And it turns out that the delicate ecosystem that this train maintains is that they need the tail enders to produce offspring to bring it to the engine room in order to maintain this piece of machinery that can't be maintained automatically anymore. Like the parts for it are gone. So they need small children to be in there working those machines, or the train dies. It stops. So there's the big twist thing there. And the moment that Curtis realizes this, he immediately drops any sort of like, there's no way I'm fucking doing this or whatever, and he starts trying to save this kid.
This is unsustainable.
Yep, little Timmy's caught in a well.
He kind of was.
I'm not going to think about how Timmy got down there. There's probably some explanation, but whatever. So Curtis like sticks his arm.
I would assume that there's like a different spot.
I would assume many things that aren't explained in this movie, which is why I'm kind of glossing over it.
We have to just assume some things.
So so Chris Evans sticks his arm in there and like stops a wheel. Sure, fine. It'd have probably gotten minced, but all right, it's there.
It
It's trying to save
eventually
Tim.
does.
It eventually does. It should have gotten minced
takes a little while.
immediately.
It should have. And if this thing is really powering a train, like, and these gears turning is what moves the train, him stopping a gear
his
should
arm-
have stopped the train, or
That train
immediately-
gear would not give a fuck
ripped
about
off.
that arm.
No, like what this train is capable
Yeah, it
of
was
doing,
been
like
cut
it's not just
clean.
it's stuck. No, like,
Stop it for a few minutes and then it'll rip off.
that's not how that works.
So that all happens, but before he does do all that, he does give the daughter the matches, and they go back and they light up the bomb and things, like, okay, here we go.
Yes, we're almost there.
Did he need 10 years worth of Chronos to blow that gate open? Because he incinerated like 2 cars worth. Like, did he know how much he was about to blow up? Was he aware of how big that
nuclear.
explosion was going to be?
Let's assume
was his
that he
plan? If
didn't
they
know.
didn't
Let's
open that
assume
gate-
I
he
don't think he
didn't
knew
know.
how big the explosion.
Let's
he just,
assume he
I
didn't.
guess
know.
not.
I mean, he's not an explosive expert. Like, he's just like, all right, I just got to gather a bunch of
Gotta
things
work.
together and just blow the shit out of it, and I'll just put as many as I can.
Okay, so this all happened very fast for me, so maybe you can explain it, Steven.
He didn't want to
Yes. So
Maybe
maybe
if my internet holds out, maybe I can.
okay.
I know. So,
So-
it's like we're getting every 5 words here.
This all happened very
There's
fast, and I was a little bit
delays
confused.
and, like, my
Yep.
So he lights the bomb. Does at some point he realize it's going to be too big, so he starts trying to like close the gate, and then fails. So he goes to like protect his daughter and little Timmy, and then they all blow up, and then his
I
daughter
think
and Timmy are
he
fine.
knew it was going to be big. He wanted to close.
Well, he
like,
knew his
he wanted them to be safe behind the gate when it blew.
Sure. But
Yeah.
what was this discovered after he lit the bomb? He's like, oh shit, this is gonna be huge. Because his plan originally was just to light that shit right there and just like have it blow up and then leave that door, all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
I would
sure he
assume
would
his
have.
original plan, like, if they never went into the gate, was like, oh, let's just run back across the bridge and do their thing before all those people showed up and everything.
I guess. Although this thing
Yeah,
did blow up
that's
like the
my
entire
assumption.
train.
I don't know. I don't know what his plan was for if he blew it up before the door ever opened.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, my assumption is that he would just try to put some distance between him and the door, before the suddenly lucid club goers all turned on them.
Yes,
Right.
generally you don't want to be next to
Like,
an
once that
explosion, but
happened-
literally that explosion enveloped the entire engine
that
room with
entire-
fire. It was
It did. I mean,
engulfed.
yeah,
It
was a gigantic explosion.
The first 4 cars of the train got ignited, demolished. They're gone,
Yes.
evaporated.
Like, they probably could have been fine just making a bomb out of the Chronos that they were getting from Curtis. They didn't need 10
Yeah,
years.
I mean,
for-
Oh,
You're probably right. It would have been worth it.
I
if
mean,
they,
we don't know how tough
They only
that
had
metal
one.
door was.
Yes.
though.
They only had one shot, right? They only had
I
one
guess.
match, so they couldn't afford to be smaller.
I
They
guess.
had, if they had to
Kinda
choose
have to
one, it was
overdo it.
better to overdo it than to underdo
but
it.
at a certain point, it did, like, Jerry did realize that this was going to be a huge explosion, which is why when he couldn't close the door, he ran back, and both Curtis and Jerry like enveloped those 2 kids.
To protect.
Or maybe they just
yeah.
thought they were all going to die. But regardless, he knew that
I
this
think
was going to be
the-
a gigantic explosion.
I think at the very least they knew the flames were going to be big
Uh-huh.
and wanted to
Yeah.
get out of immediate proximity to the flames. So
Sure.
what better way to get the gate out of the way? And if the gate couldn't be there, then he was going to just take the L
Just
for
protect
his
my
baby girl.
daughter. Yeah. Everyone hug.
I did love that one
Hug
of
me.
one of the very last lines in the movie was just nice, and then just.
Said by Ed Harris himself.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was a little dumb. I thought that, but that's why I thought
It was similar-
a better actor choice could have yielded more interesting endings.
Yeah,
for
like
that.
someone like kooky,
character.
like they're just like kind
Exactly.
of off the rock. They're like, oh, nice, like complimenting the people who just.
How about
Killed him
let me,
essentially.
let me throw you a little pitch here, because that one little line, that one line right there, right before just some big dramatic thing happened, reminded
Uh-huh.
me of Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man, just going, "Oh," before he just gets like, impaled.
Yeah. And
So
I
Willem
think
Dafoe is
like-
Wilford.
That would have been awesome.
You know what? You know what? Willem
Honestly.
Dafoe could have easily, like, you haven't seen Boondock Saints yet, but
No.
like, I think that like he does a good job of, he can pull off like a kooky, like crazy person.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I think that actually would have been pretty good. I just realized today, and this is off subject,
Yeah.
that Willem Dafoe is in a movie like a Van Gogh movie, like he plays Van Gogh, and now I'm kind of interested in watching that.
Oh shit.
Do you know he has a really big penis?
How big is it?
So big that he had to use a stunt penis in a movie because his dick was too big.
Wait, what? Like, how do you? Wouldn't a stunt penis just add more penis, or does it just compress
Oh, no, it
into a
was
smaller
like
thing?
he had his like
His schlong.
away or something. And
Oh,
then
so he had
something
to-
else was used.
He had
Okay,
to-
so he had to tuck and then.
I don't know
glue
what
a fake
what
one on.
movie it was. I think it was like in his younger days, but his penis is so large that they couldn't actually show it in the movie because people would have thought it would like looked comical and fake.
Arnold
was how
big,
big
or
it was.
yeah? How does this dong compare to the Terminators?
Well, bigger because
Ooh.
Arnold's Terminator dick wasn't like insane.
It wasn't
big.
like big.
It was bigger
like,
than the
it
Terminator's
was-
Terminator.
Oh,
Like Arnold had like enough that he was bouncing leg to leg, but I have a feeling Willem Dafoe
have you ever
is
seen an anaconda? Yeah, that.
bigger, bigger. Whoa, that's big.
So let's
That's
wrap
a
this up
fun
here.
fact.
We're right at the end of the movie.
I know we're in that phase where we're like, we'll just talk about anything now, so we have to be careful.
So like,
Honestly, for a second I thought train explosion, derailment, everyone dies, end of movie. I thought the movie was gonna.
I
end.
thought that was it too.
was
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Same.
like I guess the whole point was like I'd rather die than live like this for forever.
That's what I thought as well. Like, okay, shit.
yeah. I did expect this movie to have some sort of like bleak or dour ending or something.
I did too.
They did go for a kind of a little
They
bit
kind of
more
do.
of a
I mean, they do
hopeful.
kill everybody. They do
They
kill
do
everybody.
kill everybody, and what's left is not going to repopulate humanity unless some really
they're
fucked up
immediately
shit
dead.
happens. Like,
I'd like to assume there's some other.
I would like
survivors
to
that they
assume as
didn't
well,
show,
but there's
but what they
there's-
showed us was just her and Timmy, and it's like, well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Is like I
and
want
when
to.
Timmy turns 18, I guess you could start having families. Or
I
whatever.
don't want to make too many like assumptions like on this movie's behalf is the thing. It's like there's some problems that I can just like wave away, like how can they maintain an aquarium, whatever. And then there's some where I'm
Yeah.
just like, if they don't explain it, I'm just gonna
Have to
go
make up
off of
something.
what they show me, and I'm not gonna like
Yep.
give the movie any sort of charity or assume anything. The only people that were shown to have survived is the daughter and Timmy. I'm just like, all right, humanity's fucked now. Like it's
Well,
done.
They
I
are.
think
Well, they're
the-
they're definitely gonna die.
I think the only thing I could see is like kind of like a metaphorical like Adam and Eve sort of situation where they're going to be the ones that start the like a whole new race of humans essentially, but
Maybe
not actually possible.
No, it's not.
I like it. Like it's like an interesting thought of like, oh, these are like the next like they're gonna have biblical stories written about them essentially.
They're
sort
the
of like
first
Adam-
humans,
Yeah,
They're the
essentially.
first humans.
and last,
like,
essentially. Like,
Logistically speaking, they're gonna have just crazy incest babies at some
Mhm.
point.
My thing is they don't even make it to that point. Like this train could
No.
barely survive for 18
That's-
years.
Right.
And
yeah.
and,
like
and like this girl and a
17-year-old
little baby.
girl and a 5-year-old
who have
in the
never
middle of
been
the
outside
snow.
this train. They were born on this
No.
train. So
They
The polar
don't-
bear saw them and it's like
It
we didn't
ate
see
them.
but he
It ate them.
charges
Oh,
down
immediate
that
percent.
fucking like
even if
L
that
and just
polar
eats
bear
the
does
shit.
not charge down at them, they definitely go up to the polar bear. It's their first
yeah,
piece
they
of
don't-
life that
they
they've
don't
ever
know
seen.
this.
They don't.
Yeah.
That could be anything. That could be a person. That could be what other people look like outside the train, for all they know.
Yeah.
They've never even seen like a dog or know what any of that is. They
Yeah.
don't know what animals are.
What is nice about this polar bear is that it's pretty much like proof that like living life did not actually go extinct on this earth.
Well, it couldn't have.
It
yeah.
couldn't.
there's,
if it
like,
did,
it
that
can't
polar
just
bear would not
spring
be
out of
there.
nowhere.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like,
and it's not even, and life didn't even start over because it's only been 18 years. So
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
So something survived, not humans obviously,
Mhm.
but some things survived.
So it's interesting, and it's also like they also did not freeze to death immediately when they walked out. So like there is truth to Jerry's claims that like, hey, it's warming up again. Like it's maybe starting to return to some sort of livable state. So I guess that's like the movie's sort of like hinting at that sort
It's
of
okay, I was-
confirmation.
A hopeful future sort of thing.
it is
Mildly
but it's-
hopeful. Like,
But it's funny because like even if the weather doesn't kill you, like you still have to find food and stuff.
Even
Like
if it was like summertime outside and like
you know, it's not
Yeah,
a given that you
it's only
survive.
a water source and food source that are clean.
And
know
again,
how
you have to
do
survive
things.
long enough for Timmy to get that dick in her, and that's a long time.
so
Yeah,
like
Timmy's
it's
only 5. You gotta wait like
It's gonna take
Quite
a few years for him
quite
to
a few
start
years.
producing the necessary baby liquids that he
I-
can put inside her baby vase.
I do feel like this movie did stumble a little bit at like the very, very end, like within like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay. Like you kind of, it's a hopeful moment that I feel like came out of a hopeless place that didn't earn it. It's just like, like, why? I would have preferred a more dour. I feel like a more like dour or like
I would have
a
actually liked
bummer
like
ending
a
would have better suited
bleak
this film.
ending.
Yes.
Something
I
something
kinda
directly connected to the idea of ecosystem. 'cause
Or
that
to,
was the
or to
thing, right?
hammer, or to even hammer
Ecosystem.
home like the concept of just the inevitability of like this is how it has to be sort of thing.
Everything has to end kind of like if you break balance, like this is what happens. Just-
Yeah. So like
I
I felt,
agree.
I
It
felt
would've
like
been
this
more
little hopeful
poignant
moment was
that
a
way.
little cheap.
Yeah, it wasn't really earned because I don't think that's what the movie wanted the whole time. So it's like it feels like
Kinda came out of nowhere.
It feels like this
oh.
feels like a Harvey Weinstein decision. For me.
I don't know about that. But yeah, so like that was like and like which is a bummer when it's like the end of the movie. That's your last impression of it. So like my thought was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
like okay, like I
Yeah,
liked what she
know.
had going.
I tried to disregard that.
I
Yeah,
don't
it kind of
hate
stumbled
what
at
you've
the
done,
end,
but
but
it's like,
it doesn't take away anything that came before it. But it's definitely my least favorite part of the movie. It was
Well,
just like, oh, all right.
so it was more than
Yeah.
just like the last like 5 minutes because like my problems started arising once like the club goers came in, and then pretty much from then on I was just kind of like,
It's
okay,
just-
that's
I think
interesting,
that
but
The third act wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
yeah, that was it for me. But like like I said, like at the very beginning of this review, I liked this movie a lot. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I can get to like number ratings, but
if we can have like any amount of time to speak about this, just the logistics of the train for my
yes,
comfort.
yes,
Why? Okay, I understand that you need children up
Yep.
front
Mhm.
in the train. I get
Yes.
that. Did they know that when they built the train?
no, because they had
Because-
parts that
no.
maintained this, and then those parts went bad, so
Okay,
they
so
needed kids
so
to do it
even when
instead.
this
It went
train
extinct.
so why did they need the thousands of poor people forced onto the back of the train?
Well, they didn't need them. It was just like save humanity sort of thing.
Oh, but everything on this but the whole train and everything about the train in Wilford was all built on this idea of balance. Like that's everything on the train. So why Wilford would never just say like we're saving humanity by picking up too many people? Like that's not balance. Because then right away they pick up 1,000 people and they serve no function to the ecosystem. They seal them off from the rest of the train.
Was the ecosystem
it's not-
built, like, or was that ecosystem concept like from the train's inception? Because I thought the train's inception was just like, I want this self-sustaining train where people can live
Right, it
on
was just supposed to be
forever.
self-sustaining,
And then
and it
maybe
could
as
just
time
go
went on, when it
forever.
turned into a survival habitat,
That's when
that
the class
ecosystem got
system started
spawned
arising.
in. That ecosystem sort of evolved into it's like, this is how we need
I
to
don't-
keep humanity alive. I
I don't think the
but-
I don't
initial
know.
intention of the train, like at its inception, was all right, balance, kill off a bunch of people for no like.
But
just
but it
like
was
this.
it was
It
though
just-
it was hold on it was though because they pulled on the 1,000 people onto the train and then sealed them off. They didn't have any interaction with them for months.
That's true.
So they weren't trying to save them. If they were trying to save them, they would be giving them food and be like, "Oh shit, we ran out of food." That didn't happen. And the story that Curtis tells, 1,000 people were picked up on the train and then sealed off from the rest of the train for months. And then it
This,
wasn't
uh,
until
I think they were just sealed off for because it's like, oh, like we want to keep our first class tickets like away from these.
no, but they weren't okay. Would you say that they were trying to keep those people alive?
No. And this is
They
this
weren't.
is this is
They
kind
weren't.
of where like where I was kind of like struggling to judge how plugged into this movie I should be at the very beginning, because it's these sort of like slightly heavy-handed like class war sort of motifs that I'm just like, oh, okay, this is like fairy tale or like children's book story of rich people are evil to poor people, so the poor people rise up. So I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
right,
so is it
right.
going to be like this kind of story? And then it eventually became deeper than that. But then you do have moments like that, Andrew, you're right, where they're just like, we just sealed off these people because fuck them or whatever. And I'm just like, is that it? Is that's the only reason that they're on the train?
Well, because I need what I need to not be like poking more holes is just give me a good explanation of why they initially got the 1,000 poor people.
Sure.
And not just like, well, you have to have poor and rich people. That's not a good explanation. Like they needed to serve a function in the ecosystem. So what was their function if you got them and then sealed them away for months? What was their function? Was it just to because if the ecosystem is about balance and like an overpopulation is the problem, then why would you start off with too many people? You have a big train, start off with less people and then deal with overpopulation later. Because again,
were they sealed off like?
He said they didn't get any food or water for months.
They didn't give them. Curtis said
that seems like a oh shit sort of situation.
No.
Everyone's on the train.
No, Steven, remember they took everything from them. No, Steven, remember Curtis said they had everything that they owned was taken from them. So they literally brought them on the train. It wasn't like they were forgotten or it was too big or it was an oversight. They literally were forced onto the train and then had everything taken from them and then sealed off. Like they literally, the only purpose they served was being prisoners until finally they're like, we need kids, so let's go start giving them protein bars and keeping them alive. So I can't think of a good explanation for why you get these people, because see, I would think like Massive is saying, like they need the people to be doing things, but they weren't doing that. Like they weren't being used as labor. They weren't being used as food, which is food would have made sense. Like right at the very beginning, you just have a bunch of people in the back. We're going to need food eventually. Let's keep them alive in the back for food or take their kids all the time. They weren't doing that though.
Yeah.
They didn't use them for anything. So they served no This is the inconsistency thing. Like if it was about an ecosystem, like they were a useless appendage only kept as prisoners, or they looted them, like they just took all of their belongings, and then why keep them on the train? Like if you don't need them, then just cut those trains loose. Like all you're doing is like weighing everyone else down. Like there's just no consistency. It would have been better if, yeah, we need all these people and we're gonna seal them off in like unique classes, but they should be like making stuff or fixing things or like keeping the electricity on or like or literally just being food for like everybody, something,
They had to have the bug factory as part of the train from the start though, but they did they did go several months before they got those protein bars though.
Which means that either they repurposed that machinery.
It was repurposed to make.
I think so as well.
Maybe it was making other kinds of food before or something like that.
It might have been. Yeah.
And like that, see, like that stuff, it all makes sense to me. Like I have no issue with how the train runs today. I have a problem with how the train ran day one, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. That's my biggest issue is the logistics of the start of the train.
Yeah,
and then also this movie would have been a lot better if it had been like 100 years on the train, because then you would think like, oh, the cycles of humanity and stuff. And because if the train from day
17
one
years doesn't feel long enough.
it doesn't feel long enough. Yeah, it really doesn't, because at best you're getting like a generation of people like new out of this.
Yeah.
So I imagine like even if I'm like a lot of first class people in reality would actually not be such assholes after 70.
Oh yeah, that years. And well, especially being taken care of, they're not immediately like turning into these Dr. Seussian like characters right away.
Like that definitely seems like a distant future, like generations.
Exactly. Like generations have passed and you've become desensitized and you have your own new culture. A lot of these people still remember what it was like and watching their friends die and stuff before.
Exactly.
But these people are acting
Earth. I think
exactly.
It would have been cooler if no one remembered Earth and there was only like stories that tell about it.
Yes, and Wilford is this like over like 150-year-old man or something, and that's why he needs to be replaced, and he can live that long because he's fucking Wilford. I really would have appreciated
or like
that.
Wilford is like he's just a name, like there's like
totally.
I was almost wondering if there was like a man behind the
Wilfords.
curtain sort of moment where like he's just a everyone worships this thing that doesn't exist. He's gone.
The sacred engine is the sentient.
I thought like, oh, maybe he's just like like if it was a longer period of time, it's like, oh, this isn't the first Wilford. He's
Yeah.
like every time
Surely
there's a
he's more than
revolution,
just
like, Curtis,
some guy.
He was the Curtis of his time, and then he became Wilford, and now he's passing the torch on to the next revolutionary to turn into him. So
Kind of like a Matrix thing.
yeah, or like a
could
Dread
have seen
Pirate
that.
Roberts sort of situation.
Dread Pirate, yeah, totally. Like that. I mean, but that makes sense, right? Like I think I would have bitten that off like no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that's like it's just the logistics of the train and the time that I think if I disregard those, I have like almost no problems because it's just like it like fall into the magic of the movie.
Yeah.
But kind of like you pointed out,
Which I do
Jared,
think that the
because
movie is good at
movie
establishing
builds
that.
such a strong world,
Mhm.
it makes you look into all of those corners that you otherwise wouldn't have like pulled back. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
reached down there to look.
So it's despite all of that, like what the movie presented
Sure.
to me, I really enjoyed.
Oh, totally.
It's a shame that
Yeah.
the more you think about it with stuff like that, like the more it kind of breaks down. But I don't think it's like it ruins the entire movie because of that.
No.
Personally, I had
Well,
my
because I always look at things from like, what did the movie want to do and did it do it well? And I think that's different from did it set it up with all of the math checking out right away?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Okay.
It's
was
yeah.
the world building
and that's like
bulletproof.
something that's really
tough.
hard to do.
It's
Not
extremely
have
hard to
any
do.
holes in your
Oh.
like fantasy world, like
Exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta
Very
take some
few,
liberties.
very few examples of that exist in the entire of human history storytelling.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I really enjoyed a lot of aspects of this movie. I enjoyed how I didn't have to turn my brain off to enjoy it, and I could actually like look at the background and like notice things, notice the foreshadowing, and realize when foreshadowing is paid off. All this fun stuff, great action scenes, great world building. I personally think they kind of biffed it at the end a little bit to the point where it did kind of hamper my
It
enjoyment
didn't stick the
of the
landing.
movie. So I'm gonna get to a number. Spoiler alert.
I know.
For
Oh,
this-
come. Here we
for
go. Here we
This
go. We're
reason,
coming.
I would probably give it like a mid to high 7 for me.
Okay.
It might barely be an 8, but I don't think so.
I think 7
I
is
think
solid.
I think it's more in the 7 territory.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's what I would expect from you.
What?
I was
Don't
a
say it
little
like
nervous
that.
when this came up. It really
I
did.
said normally.
Oh yeah, no, I really enjoyed this movie, Mastiff. Thank you for recommending it. It's good shit.
You should be happy that like when we first started talking about it, we were all like, we have mostly positive things to say.
I like to
Which is-
think that we were like 80% positive at least for this
We
movie.
were only being critical because we were combing the movie.
And since we were 80% positive,
You're gonna get an 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10 for
That's
me.
Alright.
solid 8 out of 10 for Steven.
8
I
out of
think-
10 for
yeah.
me. I think like the kind of feelings I was getting from the movie, it kind of felt like a fever dream at times, and I
Sure.
always
Oh,
really like
totally.
that when a movie can do that, where I'm like, like it like invokes feelings in me,
Mhm.
like
Totally.
like not like emotions, but like kind of vibes, I guess. For like,
Yeah, you were actually getting into the movie and
I was
trying-
getting
you were-
into it, like
Yeah.
like
I
but
was
like
too,
all the
yeah.
characters and like the train, like just how like crazy everything got. Like
Mhm.
I love that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Like that was really
it's
cool.
it's kind
I
of
do too.
insane how much visual variety they were able to get out of just being in a train the entire movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And like I didn't really find myself bored at any time. Like I was always interested in like kind of what was going on.
Yeah.
Aside from like a few visual effects and stuff, movie looked mostly good.
Yeah, I think the only
Obviously there was a few outside of the train sequences.
Yeah,
where
that
I
was it.
like, well,
That was it.
they didn't have a big budget, I would assume, for this movie. But that's okay. It didn't ruin anything for me. A lot of scenes were just like super cool and like super stylish, and I like that a lot. Obviously, it's not a perfect movie. There are some holes in some of the things, which is
Sure.
why it's not
I
a
don't
10 out of
think-
10 or 9 out of 10, obviously.
I don't
Sure,
think
sure.
I have really anything to complain about visually with this movie. Personally, as somebody who doesn't have any experience with visual effects and stuff, I thought everything looks pretty
Sure.
acceptable
I
for
think
me. At least.
There's
visuals
just
are
some
pretty solid. The outside
sequences
stuff-
where I was just like, it was mostly the outside.
Looking
like,
out the window
avalanche
was
sort of
bad.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
Oh, you know what?
it's not
I do
perfect,
remember
but
a couple
I
of
don't-
scenes looking
but
out
I
the
don't
window. I was
hate
like,
it.
That's
like it's
Yes.
fine. It's
Mhm.
fine. Like
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Actually, yeah, like my
there was no
strongest, like,
Terminator scaling up towards a door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was no green screen
I-
plus stop motion.
I think my favorite part of the movie was the fact that they didn't feel the need to shove subtitles in your face. You just could kind of assume everything from context.
It was really cool. You really felt like you were one of the
Really
characters.
cool. I felt like I was Curtis.
Steven had such a unique experience of this movie. But the
I
great
really
thing
did.
is, you didn't really. I don't think you missed anything except like
It's
little.
because I'm a movie genius. when
Okay,
it
so we're
comes to
gonna move
watching
on.
movies.
We're gonna have Steven stop
I
talking
can
now.
see
I think
something
we've
one
gotten
time and
enough.
remember it
I think
forever.
we've
Oh,
had
as
enough
soon
of
as
Steven's
as soon as he
opinion
was,
from the movie.
showing
Like-
some
You see, I'm really good at reading people and understanding movies.
Yeah.
So Dashing asked a really interesting question that I want to answer after Andrew gives his final opinions on the movie.
What was okay? Whatever it was. Yeah. So yeah, my score, like I said, like I always say, like my score comes from what did the movie want to do and did it do it well. So the movie opens up and it literally tells you like you're on a train and it's an ice age. Go. Okay. Like cool. That's the movie. Like. It throws us in, and it immediately is into what is the problem with being on a train during an ice age. Well, you have to keep people alive, and the natural fallout of that is that there's a balance of ecosystems and social classes. Now, are there? We were just talking about all of the issues of the math that goes into this stuff, which obviously, if I were to dig into all of that, I would have problems with, and it like factors in a little bit. Just because like again like if you don't start off right, like it's really hard to connect with things later, but luckily it wasn't that bad. It's not like it was so flawed in the premise of like why are they even on a train. Like all the stuff that like
Wanted to be
needed
a
to
hot
matter, all the things that needed to matter to make the story happen were well situated in place. So I think that the movie does all of that well. It has good action, good storytelling. I think there's some acting things that I don't really love. Didn't like Ed Harris. I think the ending wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I'm pretty positive on this movie. I'm not gonna go so far as an 8, but I'm gonna be with Jared. I'm on a 7 for this movie because I think it did what it wanted to do. I think it did most of all of that well. To be an 8 for me, I think it would have needed to like have a little bit stronger of an ending, I think, for me to like walk away like really like that movie knew itself really well. Like it lost itself, I think, at the end of like this idea of ecosystem. It kind of broke the theme a little. And they're just other like little things where I can see the movie getting better. Like I don't want to go so low as a 6 because I think this movie stands out as being novel and like of enough interest that I literally was plugged in the
better
whole
than
time.
Transformers. So
It's so much. It's obviously so much better than Transformers. Like it's a great idea, and I think it was creatively executed. And I love the set
8's
building.
across the
and-
board. Exactly. Everyone's giving it an 8, massive. So
I didn't give it an 8. I gave it a 7.
No, everyone gave it an 8.
I think our best
no,
scores yet were
it's
Alien.
It's a 7.
For Alien.
Alien, we all
was-
gave.
This is probably
Alien
the
I
second
think I
best.
gave Alien. I think I gave Alien a 9.
I think I
I
gave it
think
an
so.
8.
Yeah, I think I might have also been an 8.
But I
with
think this
Jared.
is our
So
highest rated
Alien
movie
was
since
definitely our
that.
best.
This is our second highest rated
Since
movie.
then, yeah, like we all like we said, we're all mostly positive. It's above average, and it's in the realm of this is a good movie.
Yeah.
7 from age is like a 12 for other people.
I just think that this movie had a good idea and it mostly executed it well. It knew what it was from the start to finish. It just lost it a little bit at the end.
So Dashing asked an interesting question. It says, I got to believe that during these discussions, we are all being more critical of the movie and we don't judge these movies like this outside of discussion, or am I wrong in this? So
You're
here's the
probably
thing.
right about that.
Here's the
Yeah, I'm more critical during these than because like
I'm more critical
I would
than
have
when I'm
given the movie an 8 no matter what.
This is how I sort of view
But
it.
I definitely
is
talk about it more critically.
when I watch a movie, I very rarely talk about movies or discuss movies ever. But when I watch a movie, I come back with like some sort of gut feeling. And then I feel like these discussions are me trying to verbalize that gut feeling of like,
Sure.
this movie, I came out of this, I thought it was a 7 out of 10. Why do I think that?
Yeah.
Like, I liked all of these things, I didn't like these things. And that's like, all that comes together to me, like saying like 7 out of 10. So yes, we probably like in outside conversation of like not like this formalized discussion, when I'm like essentially forced to talk about a movie, this is how I talk about the movie. But if I just like watch a movie and just like grab McDonald's with friends afterwards, I'm probably not going to go this deep, but I'll still have these same feelings and these same thoughts, just not like articulated or like considered, but I'll still have the same feeling. It's like 7 out of 10 movie. So That's
I
that's
agree.
my
I
take
think the
on that.
discussion-
I think if we dig into anything long enough, we're gonna be critical about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or if we're,
Yeah.
like the nature of these discussions is to be critical, because otherwise, what would we talk about?
hmm
But I'm also not gonna like or not like something more just because we're talking about it. I'll just have more to say about.
I'll have more to
that
say.
thing.
Like my opinions don't generally change because of the things we're talking about.
Sure,
that
sure.
much.
It only sharpens the edge of the point that I'm giving.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my thought on that dashing.
Yeah.
But that is a good
movie
question. That is a good question though, because I think that obviously, yeah, we're gonna say more stuff, but yeah, thanks, Mastiff, for this movie.
Absolutely.
Like, we all enjoyed it. This is one of the more enjoyable
it's a movie
movies
I
so far.
actually haven't seen, so it was nice to watch.
That is
it.
true.
I think everything else on the list normally
Is this
I've seen.
the first movie that we've all talked about that we've seen for the first time?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. No, Secret of NIMH, because I hadn't seen that. I don't think any of
that's
us had
true.
seen Secret
Oh,
of NIMH.
I had seen scenes from Secret of NIMH, but I don't count that.
Okay, same with Terminator for me. Like, I'd seen scenes, but not start to finish.
Shut up,
Yeah.
Mastiff.
I think this is
was
the
a-
first
this is
one,
the
like,
first
where I knew
one that we
nothing. I didn't
liked.
even know anything about this movie. Like, not a damn thing.
I knew it was on a
Someone-
train. Honestly,
Someone,
the scene,
I didn't even know there
where
was a
they're-
train.
The scene where they're smashing through the ice and stuff. I remember seeing like a clip of that, and I just assumed that like Chris Evans and the conductor guy were on the same side, and like they were just like, "Oh, brace, everyone, brace," and they're all like,
That's
kind
funny.
of like, "Oh, it was like it was an outward like force was like the antagonist or something, like, oh no, we gotta make sure this train doesn't break down instead of like everything being inside."
Mm.
But I'm glad it turned out like this instead of some
Yeah.
like natural disaster or something that they have to
Right.
avoid.
Day after
Wait,
tomorrow.
Mastiff,
The
are you
day
saying this
after
is-
after tomorrow.
Are you saying this is the shortest discussion? This is one of the longest
This is the long.
discussions.
He's making a joke because the
Well,
stream had to
okay.
restart.
You want to?
So
yeah,
we're at
like,
an hour
oh,
15
factor
right
in,
I was
now.
wondering-
if we factor in the Uncharted at the beginning, which was
Well,
like
that's
15 minutes.
that's like our
That's
normal
usually how
little
things
warm-up
start,
talk,
yeah.
though.
It's true.
Yeah,
And then a couple hiccups here and there.
a little bit of hiccups.
It's
I-
still,
I-
it's been pretty long.
I think it was good though. There wasn't a lot of fat in the discussion. I think.
No.
I think the longest tangent we had was either the chronal
The polar
talk
bear.
or the polar
bears.
bear.
Yeah.
Still don't believe you.
I'm still not still don't agree. Although I do like that the polar bear coming out is the visual.
Yeah. That's well. That's not
I
even
think-
the
I think-
polar
I
bear
think
coming
that-
out. That is a polar bear.
It's a polar bear, which
It's
is
what
better.
Jerry might have seen according to Jared.
Yeah, according to Jared.
That's why I
we
put it
can't really
next to
trust
me.
anything he says. Perfect.
So yeah, the longest tangent was Uncharted. Well, the
That-
tangents that
that's-
start the stream don't count because we usually just
That was a warm up discussion.
Yeah.
It was a
we usually
warm-up.
talk about nonsense for
count.
like at least 20 minutes before we actually start stream.
Because I spend so little time talking to people that I need to get warmed up whenever I talk to these guys.
Warm me up, baby.
Alrighty, so I am about to make the wheel for the next movie that we watch. Bear in
Last
mind
chance.
that
Get
you
'em
will
in.
have 2 weeks to watch this movie because there will be no
All
weekend
right.
stream next week.
2 whole weeks.
So
We will have a stream tomorrow.
we
so
will have a
worry
stream
about that.
tomorrow, but starting
But
next
not
week,
next week.
no stream Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, nothing next week.
All right,
Not
I
a
feel
Don't
like-
damn
expect
thing.
I feel like it's safe enough to go onto Parsec for this.
I think
'cause
so.
I want
I
to see
think
the
you're
wheel
correct.
in real time.
I do. I want to see.
I don't
it.
want to be like reacting 10 seconds after it lands.
I don't want to be like the people in chat that have to find out secondhand. I want to be
Exactly. I want to be
there.
first.
I want to be there.
Hey,
Hold on.
I'll give y'all
Connect
a
to me.
couple minutes to get your votes in. I'm gonna take a pee and then I'll get once I get back from the pee, I'll make the wheel and do the thing. So you have a couple minutes to
Get him. Get him.
get them in
Alright.
that Discord. All right, be right back. Yeah.
That was overall a good movie and a good discussion.
Yes.
Yes, I enjoyed watching the movie.
There we go.
But that's why I was glad to not know anything going in, so I just got to be pleasantly surprised by the uniqueness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone at work, like I said, oh, this week we're watching Snowpiercer, and they're like, oh, and they wanted to go off and like tell me about it. Like, don't say anything. I don't want to know anything.
Shut up.
Like, oh, but this one thing. I'm like, no, shut up. I don't want to know anything about it.
Stop it. Can I throw in 7? Sure can.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a solid one.
That's a good movie. I think, Jared. might actually like that one.
Yeah, I mean, Steve and I have seen it, but Jared needs. I think that's one of those you need to see these movies kind of
Oh,
things.
definitely. Or are you saying, can I throw in 7 movies? No,
No, you cannot have 7 selections.
Yeah, 7's definitely a solid one. If I don't see it in there, I'm just gonna tell Jared to add it. So
There you go.
no matter what, 7's on the list. Can't
Well,
change your mind.
Steven
now.
brought up V for Vendetta today. I'm like, oh, that'd be another good one to be on the list.
That is a good one. I have
wanna
like a backlog. I have like a
There's
a
a
list
few.
in my head of things like if mine ever gets picked, I know like what's
The next one.
up. I'll never run out of movies.
Mastiff's not able to submit this week. I'm sure he's bummed.
Oh, what would you have submitted, Mastiff?
Would you go back to one of the oldies that you were submitting, or something new? Actually, I'm wondering if Jared like told his dad what our take on Terminator was.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like he hasn't talked to his dad since I hope if I talked to him.
No. Oh,
I was actually
dude.
thinking for V for Vendetta. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's good.
I really like that movie.
But I think we should wait until November 5th to watch it, though.
Oh,
It's one of those movies, like anything where like a movie or a song has like a date.
like a specific
There's
time,
something that feels really good. Like I won't listen to November Rain by Guns N' Roses unless it's November and it's raining.
And it's
that's
raining. Wow,
that's a rule. That is an
that's a
actual
very
rule.
rare time to.
But it's happened like multiple times enough to where it feels really good.
What is
Sure,
this?
sure.
But that was when I lived in Michigan.
November Rain.
I
the
won't
song.
listen to
Only
November
listening to it
Rain.
in November while it's raining.
That's the only time I'll listen to that song.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
I
the
really
rule.
wanted to choose a comedy, but those are so polarizing. Listen,
No, you
got-
can, dude. I feel like we need comedies.
Our
on the
only
list.
criteria is you like the movie.
And you
And
get
you think-
upset when you hear that I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's the only criteria. So if a comedy movie fits that criteria, then by all means.
And also,
Uh,
if you give us a movie and for some reason we don't like it, don't be like, oh, I didn't really like it either.
No,
Just
no. Stand by your
choose-
stand by the
stand
movies
by-
that you
like,
love.
If you like a
Don't-
movie, like
don't
Also,
hang
Jared-
on, let me turn this off. Don't let our opinions of movies like deter
Yeah.
your opinions.
Oh no, we're stupid.
Yes.
Well, for the
add
most part,
7
that's true.
add 7 to the list.
Okay.
The movie
unless
Yes,
Dory,
yeah,
that's
unless,
a
I-
dashing
yep.
suggestion.
would you rather have 7 or your comedy movie? Choose one or the other.
I mean, you can. Yeah, you can. You can change your mind right now.
This is the time to choose though, because 7's going on the wheel, but you can change it to your comedy movie if you prefer that.
I mean,
I'm assuming it would be Little Nicky.
let me just make sure.
I've never
I
seen
have
that,
everything
so.
Here.
I don't think I have 7. Okay,
All right,
7 it is.
7 it is.
7 it is.
You
All right,
got
hang
it.
on. I'm gonna make this wheel from scratch so I make sure I don't miss anything.
Scratch it up.
Oh, someone also brought up The Thing the other day, and they're like, "Oh, like this is a good one." Like, don't worry, it's on the list. We're
Yep.
we're eventually
Let's
gonna
see
watch it.
Eventually, it'll happen.
Yes.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow.
I know we're not gonna watch mine or Steven's movies. That's fine.
Ever.
I've grown to be okay
Ever.
with that.
It's all right. I don't want to watch mine even. So.
My money's on we're watching Meet the Robinsons.
Hey, we got 2 weeks to watch it. You can put it up for as long as you want.
My goodness.
We just watch it like 30-minute or like 10-minute segments.
Oh,
like every day.
It's about how much I could take at a time.
Fifth Element.
Yeah, that's what I figured, Dory. But don't do that. Stand by your decision.
Someday Jared will see.
Have
one
some
as the defining
conviction.
role. What, Boondock Saints? Is that his
We'll
defining role?
eventually see. What would you say is the Willem Dafoe movie? Would it be? Would it
For
be
me,
Boondock
it's
Saints?
Spider-Man.
For me, like
I've
in
seen
my
it, man.
world,
Like me
it's,
personally, it's Spider-Man.
well, me personally, it's Death Note. But I know for other people, it's like Spider-Man.
You, I just took a sip. God damn.
Yeah, I think like Platoon.
Dude.
I think that's like OG,
That's
like
true,
Willem
yeah.
Dafoe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I didn't see Boondock Saints until after I watched Spider-Man. So
Right. That was
what,
definitely
Requiem for a
'cause-
Dream. I don't think I've seen that.
He was in Requiem for a
Um,
Dream?
I guess
Interesting.
I have never seen Antichrist either.
No, me neither.
But that's the one where he hangs dong or fake dong at least.
He hangs stunt dong.
Yeah, stunt dong.
Alrighty. We have our
All
wheel.
right, meet the Robinsons. Let's go.
The Thing, Whiplash, Wakefield, Meet the Robinsons, Boondock Saints, Fifth
Stunt
Element,
dog.
Gladiator, 7.
Let's
Perfect.
go.
I'm glad you spelled 7 correctly.
I can't
know
wait to meet
The Robinsons. Wiggity, 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 wiggity. And... you motherfucker! Damn it!
Meet the Robinsons.
Listen, go into it with an open mind. I've seen this movie. That's all I'll say. All I will say is I have seen this movie.
All right. Well, I was kind of actually thinking, let's just get this over with so Pomo can stop submitting it. So fine, whatever. Just
You got 2 weeks to watch
I got
it. So you
2 weeks,
can-
which means I can watch
weeks
other
anytime.
things in the meantime.
You can watch it
Other-
tomorrow and forget everything about
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, of
it.
course. it's
Hey,
on
there you
Disney
go. There's
Plus.
the plus side. Yeah, the
Is there a
animated
TV?
one.
Yeah, the anime. Is there any other form of it?
Well, I think there was an old Meet the Robinsons.
Oh.
There was like a black and white Meet the Robinsons, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, no, the animated movie.
this one, the 2007 animated movie, 3D animated,
Critically acclaimed,
yeah, acclaimed.
Disney's most prized animation.
Prime Video. Oh. Meet the
A big head,
Robinsons.
little
Prime
arms.
Video.
That's all I know about this movie.
What do you know about it?
From the trailer.
What did they
The
say?
Yeah.
part with the T-Rex where like someone gets like
and little arms.
Oh my-
little arms.
Whoa.
Did that just take you back to the trailer?
Yeah.
Let's go.
From this movie.
Hey, you
Let's
know
watch
what?
the trailer.
Start, yeah, from now on, whenever
All
we
right.
pick a movie,
Yeah,
we
let's
go
watch the trailer.
for it.
What we could do, we could watch a trailer and predict what our rating for the movie's gonna be beforehand.
That's interesting.
Oh,
See
God.
and see how it changes after actually watching it.
That's kind of interesting.
So Andrew, what would you think
Well, before the trailer, like 2 or 3 at best.
after the
I
trailer?
do
and
not.
then-
After the trailer, I'll
on.
tell you after the trailer, but
This
it
fucking
probably
volume
won't
button
change.
does not want to. There we go. Alright.
This doesn't exactly strike me as Disney at its best. This looks like a DreamWorks movie. That's my problem with it. Oh, turn it up. I can't hear
Nice
I know,
and
I have to-
quiet.
One sec.
it.
15 years ago.
Don't worry. You don't have to tell. You don't have to tell us,
I'm fine.
Diesel.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
we-
be. It's
we
gonna
know.
be nice and loud for y'all here.
I imagine that would have
Thank
changed
you.
some things for Snowpiercer.
It
perhaps.
might. It might have actually. I'm actually glad that I knew
Everyone
nothing
on
about
this
Snowpiercer.
planet
So
has
Yeah.
a dream. The question is how far you're willing to go.
this is still back when trailers had
To make
this
it
guy
come
doing the
true.
voiceover for it.
Yeah.
It's
Now
very
it's all
90s.
just like-
Take
How is
Bobby,
this
for
2007?
All right, Lewis, knock him dead. That was a figure of speech. Please don't kill anyone.
All his life,
Oh, boy.
Lewis's dream was to find the family he never
A hot
knew.
lady.
What a mommy. There.
But the funny thing about chasing dreams is that
that
no
Morgan
one
Freeman?
can do it on their own.
Is
What are
it?
you doing up here? Desperate times call for desperate measures.
And the journey
Oh my God, he touched his
will
butt.
always take you places you never imagined.
What is this?
I think it is Morgan Freeman.
Dude,
I think it
the
is.
future.
It's like a younger Morgan Freeman.
This spring,
It sounds a little
the first
soft.
visitor
but-
to the future
Whoa.
This is
No,
will
this is the
discover
guy.
a strange new
No, this is-
world and a family
Meet the Robinsons.
that's even stranger.
Get
Why is
ready
your
to
dog wearing
meet
glasses?
the
Because his insurance won't
Robinsons.
pay for contacts.
Oh boy.
Frogs?
Genetically enhanced frogs.
And his only way home
I have to find my family.
will help you, kid. Is about to be stolen by a guy who gives evil a bad name.
What the?
You are now under my control.
I am now under your control.
Don't repeat everything I say.
I won't repeat
remember
everything you
this.
say.
This may be
Oh.
harder than I
Yeah.
thought.
Where's the T-Rex?
From Walt Disney Pictures.
Oh,
Find my
nice.
family?
Was this
I want them to be
141?
Just like you.
You have to go back to your own time.
When it
Oh, you're
comes to
hot.
adventure,
Dude, I can't take you seriously in that hat.
when it comes to family,
I think my
Oh,
wife
those are the
Lucille's
robots
baking
from
cookies.
Robots.
Bake
Oh,
them
yeah.
cookies, Lucille.
when it comes to comedy,
Oh,
Got the caffeine patch. You can
Oh, I
stay
remember
awake for
this.
days with no side effects. Ah! Sorry.
there's no time like the future.
Now my sleeve. Seize the boy.
Here we go.
Why aren't you
Yep.
seizing the boy?
Meet the Robinsons.
yes,
Wow.
that's what I remembered.
Get it off.
Honestly,
Oh,
you've basically seen the whole movie with this trailer.
that's the movie. Okay, that gets like a really pathetic 3 from me.
Ooh, a pathetic 3.
Yeah, like
That's-
not like a. Oh, I don't. Even, it only
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
a
we're
3
watching Meet
because
the
it would
Robinsons in 2 weeks.
In 2
Yeah,
weeks,
it
there's
won-
no
it won.
weekend stream, Pomo. Or there's
no
no
weekend
weekend stream next week.
Next weekend.
But you better be here the week after when we talk about
If
your
you're-
movie.
If you're not
Yes.
here when we talk about your movie, you never get to submit again. Especially when you submit Meet the Robinsons.
Listen, Andrew could change his mind. He
I
really
could.
like
I could.
the movie.
It literally
He's going
can't
in with a lot of
I
bias.
like
I'll
the
tell you that much.
idea. I like the idea of watching the trailer when the movie gets picked. But I do want to steer away from solidifying an opinion before the movie actually gets seen.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think the trailer is an interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Meet the
Alrighty.
Robinsons is gonna suck.
Don't know that.
Just
You don't
like
know that.
Secret of Nim, I will keep an open mind.
I will. I'm going to go into this because I'm going to trust the animators. I'm going to
As
trust that and
someone
not
who
the
has
trailer.
seen the movie,
Uh-oh.
I have seen the movie.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Yep.
If even one person gets swayed.
If only one person gets swayed, that's going to make for a very interesting discussion.
If we come back and one of us is like the only one that likes the movie and the other's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
like,
have seen this movie out of 10. That's the same score a lot of people gave Morbius. I hear.
Andrew gives the movie a 10 out of 10. Me and Jared don't, and then
Yeah, like I'll come back with a 10 out of 10 for
Craziness.
Meet the Robinsons, and forever that will be the pinnacle.
This will be
of which
this will
all
be the
movies
first
are.
time
A
Andrew
paragon
turns his
of all
webcam
movies.
on and he's wearing like Meet the Robinsons cosplay and he's
Oh, yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah, I'm the kid. I've got my hair spiked up.
oh yeah.
And I'm looking for my mom.
Alrighty. Well, we have 30 minutes to kill,
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
which to
What do we
me
want to do in 30
screams
minutes?
tier list. We could probably
Hey, tier list
I
time.
mean, I'm down.
Tier
Let's see what
list
sort of tier list we
what?
got here. I don't know.
What do we do? Someone give us some tier list suggestions.
I don't think Andrew will give it 10 out of 10 on anything.
It would take a lot. I don't think
It would probably have to be like his favorite movie of all time to give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
know what that
even
would be.
then, like I feel like when we start to get into like what's my favorite thing, I know that my favorite things are flawed, so I can't give them 10s out of 10.
I
You gotta
sort of
give it based
overcome
on
that
how
barrier.
you feel about
Yeah,
it.
I sort of just overcome that barrier by saying like 9 and 10 out of
These are
10s are like
personal ratings, not like empirical ratings.
9
So
and
that's
10 out
what-
of
but-
10s are like my most biased scores I could possibly
But I
give because they
like- I
mean
like
something
that my
very special to me.
scoring- I like that my scoring is different from yours.
Fair enough.
I don't like that, so I disagree with you.
Well, then let's have a tier list of our rating systems.
Let's make a tier list of the people who participate in this stream. I'm S tier, everyone else is F tier.
Because Steven starts with S.
Yeah.
And mine's an A, because I start with Andrew.
Oh, I see an
And-
Avatar tier list. We could do
Oh,
that.
where? Oh, hell
It's
yeah.
like
Let's
right
do it.
there.
Let's see.
I hope I remember enough
Hot
to
female
give good
ranking.
opinion.
That
Ultimate
could be
character
dangerous.
rank. What do we got? Hot female ranking, and it has a guy
Well, let's
holding the cat.
just assume that they're all legal, okay?
Avatar women. Let's let's do the full character list. How about?
All right.
All right, we got my favorites. I,
don't
love
know.
them. I
I don't
like
know
them.
if
They're
I'm
okay.
gonna
I don't like them. I hate their guts.
I'm not gonna
Fuck
have
them.
strong enough opinions on this.
You don't think so? All right, let's back it up.
Just
Back it up.
just on like a blanket, like all the characters in the show.
Sure.
Because they're all S tier.
The show is
single
good, so it's hard for me
Mm-hmm.
to be like that character's a bad character.
Yes.
I think
got
something more like
characters?
Clash Royale I could have some strong
Oh,
opinions
good.
about.
Female cartoon hotties tier list.
Female furries.
Haven't we done like a female cartoon hotties
We've
tier
done
list?
MILFs
We
before. Oh my
did.
god. Jesus.
I swear we did this. I
We
We
might have
did.
done
We
well.
definitely
Well,
did
hang on.
this.
Let me just
We
before we
definitely did this.
leave here. Okay.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Wait, where's Mrs.
Don't be
Brisby?
list.
Don't be. All right, let's see here because these are all. Oh wait. Oh, that's Until Dawn. Damn it. Could
Oh,
add a
we need
tier
a
list
Corey
for the
tier
Corey
list.
characters. I'm sure
be
that
great.
exists, but that'd be a short. Well, you know what? Let's find it.
It would be a short. It's not that many people.
We only have 30 minutes. Quarry tier list.
There's
Bam.
a lot of hot
They
lists that are all with
look
like kids.
The same, man.
They do all look the same. I mean, I guess it's the lighting and the skin tone of it, but like
Jesus
they look
Christ.
identical.
Yeah. Holy shit. Who is this? Is this
Tell me
Abby?
too.
Yeah. I know. I recognize the head that was dismembered.
Ooh, B tier.
Just an
It's a B
immediate B tier.
What's your reasoning here?
She
Yeah,
was
give us-
she was a very cliched, just like artist, like quirky chick.
Kinda
That was like her
shy.
personality. Is like I draw in the Notebook.
Yeah, well,
That's
I
it.
love that
Yeah.
I love that she was supposed to be the dorky character, but she still wore like tight body
I
shaped
feel like
clothes. And
I feel like the only reason a bunch of people loved Abby was because she was one of the few characters that wasn't just an asshole by default.
yeah,
and that was
That's-
it.
That's fair. Yeah.
I
She's
didn't.
pretty. She's
I
pretty
had-
bland. On
She,
No
she is
opinion.
the most average thing.
for
That
bland.
The only emotion that I felt
don't
when
hate
she
her.
died was frustration because the game didn't do what I thought it
I
was
was-
going
I
to
was
do.
mad at
that
the
was
mad
it.
at the game, not the fact that she
I
died.
didn't give a
don't care
fuck
if
she died. Yeah.
Yeah.
The way she died was upsetting.
Yeah.
I didn't even think she could draw that well. Brenda is not S tier. She died in a freezer.
Yeah, that's
Steven,
like
you're
F
up. Where are you putting Bobby here?
Bobby,
Hey, Bobby.
it's gonna be an A tier for me
All right.
Yeah,
Why didn't he
I-
make it to S?
because I'm
Interesting.
reserving S tier for the truly great.
Oh, that
Oh,
is
I
true. Like, we
understand.
need
I
to-
understand. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think A
But
tier is great for Bobby.
He is in the upper echelon of characters.
He's
Oh,
a.
absolutely. I think he's ahead of a lot of people.
Feels
I've
like.
never been stabbed before.
Ow.
It really hurts.
Oh.
There
Great
was a,
character. He just didn't have a ton of like scenes.
there was
As
there was
animation.
one scene that we didn't see in the quarry where if like when he's like looking around for whatever his name was, Ryan or whatever, and we were like hiding in the closet and shit. If you fail all of those quick time events and he like actually catches up with you, he's like you're just like on the ground and you're like staring at him. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to kill you yet. Like usually somebody tells me whether or not it's okay. You wait here. I'm gonna call my dad. And he just like walks away and you like make your escape when he's doing that.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Should
It'll
we
be
do
nice
this
to
afterwards?
see
Breaking
that.
their
Animation quality. Oh yikes.
Just like, well, it's one square and you just put it in D. Oh, who's this next person?
I
Is that
think this is
Chris?
Chris Hackett.
That's
Yeah.
Chris.
D D for photoshopped.
Photoshopped.
D because they just took the actor's face and photoshopped his actual photo face onto a 3D rendered body and thought that that would be okay and I wouldn't notice.
It was okay.
And also, he wasn't even around in the whole game. I'm sure there's versions where you mess with Chris a lot more.
This is for our playthrough.
But this is, for our playthrough, the only thing we know about Chris is he's an asshole who left, and all that he left behind was a photoshopped image of himself.
Yeah.
Oh God, is this the grandma?
my Kaylee!
Really, my Kaylee.
Apparently,
Kaylee.
we could
My
have
only
shot this
granddaughter.
bitch's face off if we didn't have like accessible QuickTime events on. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
Wait, what?
Hang on, I'll show you this. This is insane. So we had, for some reason, somehow turned on like accessible QuickTime events, which basically turns off any button mashing events because not everybody can do that. Don't mind all the VTuber stuff.
Guys, don't look at my YouTube history. Don't look.
I'm looking. I'm looking hard.
Is this one? All right, I'm sure I'll be able to find it in here. It's this right here.
There she
Yeah.
is.
So
Holy shit.
you'll probably remember this scene where.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. That's right.
Oh,
right
oh.
here. So like she's like, you can't shoot what you can't see, darling. And then you have like, there's this QuickTime event that's supposed to show up if you have like, you're supposed to mash a button. And if you mash this button, you'll shoot her in the face. But if
What?
you
Shit.
don't, you have what happened to us. And we didn't have that option because somehow we must have accidentally turned on accessible QuickTime events or something. I don't know.
It was
But
a
we never
game
got any of
setting?
those. We never got any
That's
of those
weird.
button prompts.
My only wife. You killed my wife.
Yeah. So I don't know how that happened.
My wife's dead.
Yeah, you got
Dude,
it,
you ain't
buddy.
reviving her. Look at her face, dude.
So yeah, she actually got way more screen time than most people for us because we didn't have those quick time
Wow, we
events.
kept her alive. All right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we got her freaking out about Kaylee. My Kaylee.
Didn't like her though.
My granddaughter.
Yeah, she came way too late in the story. It was
She
like,
came
I
way
don't
too
care
late and
about
she
you.
was annoying and awful the entire time. So
No, we played with, and we didn't play the movie mode. We just somehow had a setting that removed certain events, which is bullshit.
Is it because you like played on easy mode? Or
that's
something?
not like I'm all for like having accessible QTEs in your game, but that's not the way to do it. Literally just like gating people off from content who can't physically mash a button.
That's garbage.
That's
Come
dumb.
on.
That's really dumb.
Yeah. Who is this? Oh, this is Dylan. Steven, you're up with Dylan.
Dylan. Oh, Dylan.
Dylan,
My
is he
boy
best?
Dylan.
Is he best gay?
I mean, he's the top gay guy of the game,
He is.
so he's S
He
tier.
wrote the book.
He's a solid boy right
Dylan's
there.
our S tier.
I
He's
like
got
Dylan.
the jokes.
He went the distance with us.
I feel
did.
like he's the only one who survived, so that kind of lets him go into S tier.
That is true.
Oh.
And he survived so hard, no one even remembered.
Exactly. No one talks about him.
Like all the werewolves, everyone just forgot Dylan existed. That's
Mm-hmm.
how he survived. They just erased him from their RAM.
He just went ghost.
Dylan was useless. What are you talking about?
What are
He
you-
is a
Dylan
survivor
saved
with
Brenda's
every
song.
S tier.
He deserved that kiss with Ryan. We gave that to him. He earned
Yeah,
it.
no,
we did.
he earned it. And he also earned every gun that he was supposed to get, but no one let him have a
Exactly.
gun.
He really tried having a gun a lot of times. I feel like
Just give Dylan a gun.
Some lower
all the
tier
best
people
scenes
didn't want to give him a
involved
gun.
Dylan.
Yes. He
Like
he
the-
had his
like,
he had his spin move. He had
Oh,
that,
yeah, he had
he
the
had
spin
that
move.
like look at me pretending to walk up the stairs animation.
He did. He was
Like
pretty cool.
other characters had better like overall just like things,
Sure.
but he had like just the best overall.
The moment
just,
to
like,
moment
stuff.
with Dylan
moment
was
to
better.
moment with
Mhm.
Dylan was always just good stuff.
I agree with that.
All right, Andrew, how do you like you're seeing the worst part, the worst half of
I
her
know
right
this
now,
is.
but-
We're seeing the part that's
Oh,
over 80.
I want to see below the neck.
Everything below the neck was like a 30-year-old hottie. Like she had like nubile shoulders that just happened to be like gray colored, but everything from her neck down was super smoking hot. She had the shoulder openings even on her dress.
Mhm.
She just happened to have like an old face, so maybe she's just like a smoker and she's only 35 or something. I don't know.
And she's really
So here's the thing, like
I don't
the
think we
lower
got a
her
clip of
lower
that
half
message.
is S tier, but her upper half is D tier.
Are you-
Because she never helped
split the diff.
us. She never helped us. She only
She
ever
never
like
did.
every time she had a chance to give us a prediction, it was something we couldn't avoid. So she was mocking us, and she made us feel really bad for not finding any tarot cards at the beginning, and that wasn't our fault. We
That was
were
the
looking
game's
all over the place for her cards that she.
I know it
clearly
wasn't
hid.
me and Andrew's fault.
The-
That much I know.
It wasn't my. I didn't do it.
The tarot cards
Wasn't my
got
first-
disturbingly easier to find after like chapter 3.
Yeah, I think,
And I
she was,
can't
just, I think she
explain
was just toying with us, and
holding
because
out.
she was toying with us, her body doesn't have one cohesive age to it, and
She's a liar. Her body's a liar.
everything about her is a liar. So put her in the D tier.
Woof.
Ooh.
Oh baby, do I get
Put her
Emma?
in D where she belongs.
Ooh.
Oh, you got Big Mouth Bass?
I got the big mouth bass. Fuck.
A Don.
Damn, you got the Don. You got the Don.
The Don. Damn it. Okay, so hear me out.
C tier.
The only
Interesting,
reason I'm
interesting.
putting her above a D is because
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the lore that we gave her.
Oh, I
That's
think
it.
what we did
That's
with
it.
her was fantastic.
She's a D tier
If
character,
it
but I
was just-
loved playing as her and making the stupid decisions.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think we had a lot of fun playing her, but she sucks.
Yes.
she is a terrible character, but we made her better.
Oh wait, you know what this
And
reminds me of?
I love the natural end that we gave her too. Like I wasn't the slightest bit upset that she died.
Very natural end. We're
Oh, these animations?
sympathetic.
Yes. Do they have one with her?
Not with her, but this is just what it reminded me of. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Oh, same.
I couldn't not picture this as we were playing as her.
Every time she was talking,
The
yeah,
killer is
like
white,
they
aged
kicked up.
between 30 and 45. He doesn't act on impulse, but plans his crimes in a very meticulous fashion. He doesn't have anything personal against the victims. That's why he covers their faces with mud, to make them anonymous.
Oh my goodness.
Why does he kill them if he doesn't have anything against them?
For him, they're more of an image, a symbol. That's probably why he
It
gives
really-
him an origami
it's
figure
not far off
and an
from
orchid
this.
as gifts
That's
apologize
Emma.
for what he's done to them.
Very interesting.
Jacob.
And where does all that get us?
Where does all that get us?
The best way of tracking a predator is to be familiar with his behavior.
Whoa.
That may be true in
You go
novels,
behind
but
the
there's
wall?
a child's life at
Just
stake
so-
here. Continue, Jaden.
Oh, his hand animation was great.
One detail attracted my attention. The interval between the time when a victim disappears and the time when the body is found ranges from 3 to 5 days. The rainfall is always at 6 inches, give or take 10%.
What on earth does that mean?
All the victims were drowned in rainwater. The killer kills only in the fall when there is plenty of rain.
Gross.
It could be that he puts them in some sort of well or tank that is open to the skies and that fills up with rainwater. The more it rains, the less time the victim has to live. Then I studied the geographical distribution of the murders. Generally, a killer commits his first murder near to where he lives, so he has a safe place to flee to if any complications arise. The more confident he becomes, the further he roams from his base. By analyzing the locations where the victims disappeared, I was able to isolate a zone where the killer might live.
I like yawning.
And what size is this zone?
For the moment,
Hey.
about 10 square miles.
Oh.
Great. There must be 10,000 people live in that short area. You gonna question them one by one?
Yeah, this is Emma's family at home. Yeah.
The more clues we get, the more we can reduce the zone. We can then cross-check it with our list of suspects and identify the killer.
So what's next?
There are 2 suspects whose psychological profile might fit and can be connected to the comfort zone. I'd like to question them.
God damn it. We're wasting our time with this bullshit. The killer's out there somewhere, and we gotta get off our asses and find him.
Look at this guy in the front.
The killer is no ordinary murderer. He is intelligent, organized, and methodical. You won't find him by patrolling the streets.
Oh.
Tell me, Agent Jaden, did you get your vast experience on the job, or did you just fucking read about it in some school book?
Oh.
Your vast experience hasn't prevented 8 victims from being murdered. You asshole!
That's enough! You said it took 6 inches of rainfall before the victim died. How much time do we have left?
If the weather forecasts are right, less than 72 hours.
Oh, he's doing Dylan's move.
Oh wow.
Oh, God.
Yes, Dylan's move. Why is there just an image of Brendan Fraser up there?
That's his profile picture.
Are we watching Furry Vengeance after this?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna submit that next time.
Jason. So that's why I liked Emma.
You know what? I think C is solid. I think we had some A-level moments with her. She was
a bitch, but she was an entertaining bitch.
We had fun playing as her.
Yes. All right. Oh, Steven, I trust you, my boy.
Steven.
I mean, you know where to put him.
Jacob.
There you go.
The easiest S tier of my life.
Jacob gets
There's a triple S tier. Jacob will be in it.
Jacob go up to S. Jacob gets the S tier.
Jacob bag.
Yeah,
S++.
Jacob start new life. Oh, the Jacob tier. Oh, the Jacob tier. Wait, what happened? You renamed the S tier.
Oh,
you renamed the S tier.
That's fine.
Oh, we have 2 Jacob tiers.
Multiple Jacob tiers. Well, on a scale of 1 to Jacob, how Jacob are you?
Jacob.
I'm feeling less Jacob.
Get bags.
All right, this feels better now.
This feels good. I like this.
It's good.
Old man.
Old man.
Yeah, who?
X gonna give it to you, man. Yeah, it's you.
That's you.
Oh, this is just we saw him for like a grand total of like 30 seconds.
Yep.
And all I know is that
because of him that Jacob died. I just want you to know
exactly. He showed up at the time that forced Laura to kill the power for no damn reason.
Oh, no, we're gonna get to Laura.
Why the hell would you do that?
We're gonna get to
Laura.
Laura
Deserves what's coming to her.
And yes, Roka, Abby, and B fight me.
I almost have zero opinion. You know what? Put the old man with Abby because I have basically no opinion. I have basically no opinion about him.
Wow.
All right. Well, we can. You know what we can do is like add row below.
That's right. Who cares?
Yeah.
I do not care.
So you can rate you rate Brenda's song then.
Oh, I rate Brenda's song?
Yes.
Oh, put her in the who cares column.
Oh.
Listen, Brenda Song was only starting shit the whole time. Wanted everyone to remember those days when she was on The Sweet Life, and I don't remember because I didn't have cable, so I don't have the nostalgia connection that you all have. And she dies in a freezer that should have been able to just open from the inside like all freezers do.
That's true.
But she decides to not even check,
idiot.
doesn't even check, just sits down with her shotgun and slowly goes to sleep. You want to know why? Because even she's bored of Brenda Song. She doesn't want to be a Brenda. She wants to be not even D tier. She doesn't even care. Why should I? Who cares tier? Die, Brenda Song.
Wow.
All right then.
All right.
And that's because we have to watch Meet the Robinsons this week.
Wow.
Harsh. You want to see Harsh Diesel? Oh, is that Laura? Oops.
Oh no. No.
But see,
Laura.
you would think that the who cares is the worst part, but D is the like I care enough to put you on the bottom.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Oh, is my clipbot not running?
I see Jitspo's got it all figured out.
This work?
Benda who?
Hang on. Does it work?
Benda
Oh
like
no!
Beckham.
Oh my bot broke. Sorry.
Oh, broken bot.
It's broken bot.
Broken
Oh,
bot.
you broke a bot?
You broke so much.
Also, on the earlier comment, could the Jacob S tier be elaborated a little bit? Did you even watch us play the game?
Jacob,
who
go
was asking for
upstairs.
us to
Jacob, get
elaborate?
bag.
If we need to elaborate now, we obviously weren't here. It's not even worth it.
I can never possibly explain to you why Jacob was so important to us.
Watch the VOD. That's all I'll say.
And you'll understand why Jacob is so important and why Laura is so hated.
It's so unimportant.
Yeah, why she's at the bottom.
This
of
is
the
all.
list.
This is all like based on our one playthrough.
Yeah.
Jacob clipped the stairs. Jacob caught a star and he brought it down and he showed it to us and he's like, "You can have a piece if you play with me." And we said, "Okay, Jacob." And then he did the T pose dance and I fell in love forever. He showcased all of the elegant animating that this studio is best known for.
Alrighty. So we got right back to you nice and quick, Andrew. We got Max here.
Wait, it's me?
What?
I thought you just picked Laura. It's on Steven.
Oh, I thought we'd just done
my
Jacob.
turn.
I was distracted by the Jacob
we were in
talk.
Jacob
All right,
mode.
Steven, you're
Yeah,
up.
I was just
Max.
Max.
Yes.
B tier.
Okay.
He's just kind of a
He's just there.
middle of the road. He's kind of there. I don't hate him. I don't like
He
him.
is super boring.
Straight from Capture the
I-
Game, including decapitation.
That is true. They did all of it. Oh, they did it all. James Cameron style. They're like, "You're not going to hide any of this?" No. We're doing everything.
No, we show everything.
Yeah, he kind of
Who's
Max.
this?
Max
Oh, this
kind
is-
of. This is Nick.
Oh, this is the Aussie.
Nick.
Yawzy.
Fucking Nick.
I liked the
Oh,
personality we
Idri-
gave him as well, where he just like kept
Idri-
he tried
exactly.
hard. He was like why am I blanking on his name? Tom Haverford. He was like Tom Haverford when he was pretending to be that British guy for that one episode.
Oh, exactly. He's like he knows that this is more attractive than the real him, so
Yeah.
he puts on sort of an act. And he likes to play the like, oh, like, well, in Australia,
Back down
like
under.
Back in Aussie town.
and Melbourne, like, we just eat Vegemite, so we don't have a rule for what you have.
Ay.
So Nick, what tier does Nick get? Nick was pretty forgettable. We didn't really have a lot of interaction with him. He was a super asshole though, because he tried to play off the it was the game. The game made me make out with what's her name?
Oh, that's
Emma.
right, Emma. Yeah.
He tried to play it off as like, why are
He
you?
should have been careful there. He almost got his entire face devoured. With that kid.
She
Yeah, my
was.
God, you
I mean,
do
she was
not
opening up. He
wanna
pulled
mess
away
with that
before
mouth.
the jaw came unhinged.
Yeah.
She's about to swallow him whole.
Yeah, I see, but my problem is I don't hate Nick. He's not D tier. He didn't kill off our favorite character. All
No,
he
we
did,
killed off Abby
all he
first.
did was he played his role well, and he came to a timely end. Actually, no, he didn't die in our run. He stayed.
He
a
did. He
werewolf at
survived.
the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
Wait,
He was.
he killed Jacob. He was the werewolf that killed Jacob.
Oh, D. Put him with Laura. He's just as responsible.
He deserves it.
You know, we should put him in his own cage, and then like similar to Jacob, it's like poetic. We make Laura kill Nick by her going from the D tier into the Nick tier to kill Nick. whenever Jacob at the top shuts off the power.
Yeah.
It's just like what happened.
The script.
Oh fuck, we got Ryan.
You get Ryan.
What are you gonna do with Ryan? Listen, even Ryan couldn't figure out if he liked boys or girls, so.
Ouch.
Hey, you know what? I'm with you on that because he had a lot of screen time and
arguably
he was
the most
main character.
Arguably the most screen time.
Absolutely. At least in our playthrough, this guy was the most important character somehow.
I just
didn't give a shit about him.
I just like whatever.
He died the most unceremonious death.
Give Dylan a gun already.
Yeah, look, he came across as being like, this guy is gonna have like the most knowledge or wisdom to make some calls and get the group moving, but then didn't do that. And like he couldn't choose who he wanted to be. Was he gonna be a smart character who made decisions, or a timid character he couldn't figure out what he wanted to do, and because of it, Jacob's dead. They're all responsible.
Everyone's responsible. This entire tail end of the tier list exists to bring Jacob up to the front.
Oh my goodness, we just needed to get Jacob to the sacred engine.
This is just a shrine for Jacob.
Wait, who does that make Emma then?
Claude.
She's that giant reactor thing that comes out, and then you insert a kid inside, and then it goes back in.
You get inside her mouth to power the sacred engine. No, preordained position, Jared. Everyone knows the gesture.
Yeah.
All right, I forget this guy's name. Tyler? What's his? The
cop,
cop guy.
Mr. Cop.
Mr. Cop.
All right, I'm going. I would probably have put him in C. But he gets a B tier because he killed Laura.
He did kill Laura. He did.
Oh,
so
that's true.
He gets an upgrade for
nice.
B tier is solid.
Also, Chris Hackett killed Bobby, so you know.
Oh, fuck that.
That's true. Yeah.
See, I don't even remember that.
Officer Dudley.
You ever consider that maybe you guys are casting blame on these innocent pawns of characters when really you are to blame for That is untrue. That is false.
Wrong.
That is
wrong.
false.
Unequivocally,
I would ask you to research we have video
we're going to the VOD. We're going to the VOD.
Responsible. Go to the VOD. Check the damn VOD.
Consult the fucking VOD.
I can't even elaborate on how livid I am right now that you would accuse us of being responsible for Jacob's death.
Where are we here?
Where's your evidence? Substantiate yourself.
Get busy Dylan or get busy Ryan. I think this is the one.
Get busy Ryan.
All right, yeah. We're right here. We're here already.
This is it.
So watch this. Watch carefully. Let's see what happens here.
Let us check the tapes.
The threat is gone. What are we gonna choose? What should we do? Let's run. What are you gonna do, Laura? What's your next move, Laura? What are you gonna do?
I want to run.
Run? You running? All right, time to run. Let's run, Laura. Okay.
I'm just gonna stand
Let's run.
here.
Laura, you gonna run? You gonna get out? Run?
I'm just gonna stand here.
Laura, you want to run?
Idiot. I think standing here is better.
No, the light. No. There's something about that light. The light is just too bright. So I'm gonna turn that off.
And I'm still not gonna fucking run. I'm just gonna sit here in the darkness.
She stays. She stays there. She doesn't run.
We chose run. Run out of here.
I don't know what that verb means to you.
So dumb.
What does the verb run mean to you?
Anymore.
I don't even want to finish anymore.
No. This was the turning point. This was the turning point of the game.
Oh no, this is when we
stopped giving a shit.
Yeah.
At this point, everyone could die for all I care.
Yeah, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Because clearly there are no rules, and even if we play by their rules, they kill us off anyways.
We chose run.
Look, is she running?
Run.
Is she running?
She's not running.
Is she running?
No,
she's still not
sitting
running.
in the goddamn dark.
Run. Why aren't you?
She's still here.
She never runs.
Where are you?
She never runs.
There's tons of moonlight illuminating this room. You can absolutely see her.
That was the best place for Jacob to be.
He didn't run. We literally said run, and
Run.
let the
We
record
said
show
get
that
away
she
from
did
the
not
power
run.
box. We saw that power box a mile away, and we're just like, don't cut that power. Do not cut that power. Leave it
The
on.
record shows she is still not running.
So we chose
Never
run
gave us the
to get away from the room with the power box.
God, if Laura also just died.
Nope.
I'm just gonna, like,
But why aren't you running?
Why aren't you
Why
running?
aren't you running?
That's true.
She's just standing there
He's still
like
not
a
running.
D-tier bitch.
How?
God, I
Look,
hate her
so
so
she
much.
never ran. She never ran.
Now,
Until now.
she runs.
What?
The
Now
scene
she
is
runs?
over, though. It's over.
No. We played by their rules, and they burned us.
I'm getting hot again.
You know what? Can we make a new? Can we make a new tier? Another list? I want another. Thank you.
Laura.
No.
Mm-mm.
It is not. It is
Nope.
Laura's fault. Laura did not listen.
Mm-mm.
She decided
She's supposed
she
to
didn't.
do
She didn't
everything we told her
obey.
to do.
That's the
Obey
rule.
me. No.
If I were wearing a
Game
heart rate
gave up
monitor right now, I'd be
control.
spiking.
Oh, I'm boiling. The second Roka started accusing us of killing Jacob, I was boiling.
Stephen Bannon, Roka, please.
No. Roka, no. You're not going to gaslight me into believing that I am at fault here.
She actually What is that? 3 or 4 times that Roka's been banned on this channel.
Let's see.
I hope everyone knows that this is what
5
happens.
timeouts, 3 bans.
Whoa, Roka.
Man.
Steven, do you see what Roka's saying right now? I will not stand for this, not on my train. This isn't, thank you. This is an ecosystem. It only runs when everyone is in their
God.
preordained position. And where is your position, Roka? Beneath us. Thank you. Let's sweep the train clean. Get rid of all remnants.
You don't need them.
7 minutes ought to do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's all.
Yes,
That's all
you
I
were
want.
wrong. That's all. That's all I want.
Is that so hard? See, this is order. This is what order looks like.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Roka, tread carefully here. We are. Okay, ban him.
If I ban him too often, he'll just become immune to it.
It loses all meaning.
That's true.
You know how
So I'll take away his agency. I'll take away his voice. I'll still delete every message he sends.
Alrighty, I
Let's
think
give
we
Roka one last
for
chance.
me,
Hold on,
but I'm ready for it.
I want to give Roka one last chance to say something.
You can have that. You can have that one. You can have that message.
That's
I'll allow
okay.
it.
That's okay. I am pleased with our list. I think it sums up the game pretty accurately.
Oh yes, we absolutely killed it.
Something.
For sure.
Walking very thin ice, Roka. Thin ice.
Much like Mrs.
Vanilla.
Brisby, our bottom half of the tier list has a massive dumpy.
Big ol' dumper.
But
Just
we have
as
successfully
we
killed
desired.
approximately 30 minutes.
That's exactly what we wanted to do. Hope y'all enjoyed that 30 minutes.
I hope it was a wonderful use of your Friday evening.
Because it wasn't
Totally
of
worth
mine.
it.
We will be back tomorrow. I would love to finish Martian Gothic tomorrow. I don't
we can
think
do it?
it's. I don't know. I don't think so. But it's going to be rough coming back after a week and trying to finish it. So I would like
Yeah.
to.
We can try our best.
Yeah.
We're gonna push as hard as we can.
So
Everyone bring your
Everything,
thinking caps
everything we
tomorrow
got.
because
Yeah, we're gonna need your help.
we need brain power.
We can't do it alone.
Shortest stream ever. Well, you came in like 3/4 of the way through. That's your fault.
It's
Diesel.
also saying it's a 2-hour stream right now, but it's not.
Oh. Robinson's height.
Homo, I swear, if I don't see your ass in chat 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. All right, yeah. Everyone bring your dad.
Yeah, the next stream is gonna be Bring Your Dad to Stream Day.
Bring the smartest adult you know. and maybe we could do it.
College degreed people only.
All right, so yeah, tomorrow is going to be pretty much all Martian Gothic Inner unification.
Nothing else.
I always
So if
I
that
keep
doesn't
trying
sound
to say,
fun to you, fine.
Oh, that's
we'll
right.
be
You're an
alone.
old man, Diesel.
reminder, and I'll do the same reminder on Saturday. There is no streams next week.
Well, you might want to put it in the Discord as
Well,
well.
I would type it out in the Discord.
Yeah.
I only have a
Certificates just aren't gonna cut it. We need to know that you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a meaningless piece of paper. That's the only way we'll know you're smart.
Spam out frosted by Shorty. It's not happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those words have no meaning.
Yes, we are heading off to Outfrost, who is currently playing Valorant, a game that I know nothing about. But I like Outfrost, so
Streamers
we're going
mad
there.
without weekday streams.
I'm gonna try and find some way to keep playing Subnautica, but I have no idea when I
To
will
the
be able to.
detriment of his grades, he's gonna keep playing Subnautica during the week.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's a stream first, dream second.
Yeah.
My new dream is to be a full-time streamer, don't you know?
Oh.
Anyways.
Oh.
If that's the case, you have to show us your VTuber audition.
Yep.
Love you, miss you, mean it. Later, Cabbage Patch. Bye. Washing my
Do you see?